Oh ne, so, jetzt ist das Mikro an. Guten Abend, meine lieben Leute, willkommen im Stream. Jawohl, wir schauen uns jetzt gleich ein bisschen was von der E3 an. Jawohl. Und so, ich würde sagen, genau. Ich habe jetzt keinen Countdown gemacht, ne? Ich habe keinen Countdown gemacht, das war vielleicht ein Fehler. Aber die Leute, die kommen jetzt nach und nach rein. Ich glaube, das ergibt durchaus Sinn. Und, wow. Jo, warte. Perfekt. Wie geht's? Mir geht's gut. Ich hoffe, euch geht's auch gut. Jawohl. Ich hoffe, ihr hattet einen schönen Tag. Und, ja. Perfekt. Dann teile ich noch den Stream schnell. Jawohl. Bist du echt live? Ja, das bin ich live. Ich bin live. Oder bin ich nicht live? Ich weiß es nicht. Das kann natürlich sein, dass das nicht live ist. Ich weiß nicht. Aber ich glaube schon, dass das live ist, ja. Also, es sollte live sein. Kilian, guten Abend. Und willkommen an alle. Willkommen an alle im Stream. Jawohl. So, und da gucke ich mal. So.de, perfekt. Und wie war dein Tag? Ja, relativ normal, ne?
Ja.
Relativ
Yes.
normal. So. Und kann man ihn später ansehen? Weiß ich nicht. Also wir werden uns jetzt auf das Relevante konzentrieren. Genau, was uns wahrscheinlich alle interessiert. Jawohl, und deswegen streame ich das auch jetzt quasi erst und nicht erst später, weil dann können wir die Games, die uns quasi nicht interessieren, die können wir quasi überspringen. Und das bietet sich eigentlich ganz gut an. So, dann haben wir hier nochmal den Chat. Woher den Chat? Mache ich den aus? Ich weiß nicht. Ich weiß noch nicht, ob ich den ausmache. Verdammt. Naja, gucken wir mal. Gucken wir mal. So, und herzlich willkommen. Dann Blue, hau mal raus. Stimmt! Wenn Kilian schon da ist. Genau, Kilian hat ja gestern eine Donation abgesendet, die allerdings nicht ankam, aus welchem Grund auch immer. Aber Typee hat jetzt gesagt, ja, wir haben das abgeschickt. Und das Gute ist, es gibt auch gleichzeitig jetzt Musik. Das passt sogar gerade. Und vielen, vielen lieben Dank an dieser Stelle nochmal an Kilian. Und da ist die Donation. Jawohl, 100 geile Eier mit Rap of the White Musik. Sehr gut. Vielen, vielen Dank. Und so. Sehr schön. Und währenddessen teile ich den Stream noch schnell. Ich glaube, das bietet sich sehr gut an. Jawohl. Ja, wir hörten, hatten Schulschluss. Abschluss. Ah, okay. Stimmt, da haben einige Abschluss gehabt. Perfekt. So, richtig genau noch. So. Okay, gut dann. Perfekt. Endlich, da bin ich beruhigt. Ich bin jetzt auch beruhigt. Ich habe mir auch schon Sorgen gemacht, aber das kann ja wie gesagt bis zu 3 Tage dauern. Jawohl. Aber zum Glück kam das jetzt an. Sehr schön. Sehr schön. Die waren von gestern, genau. Die waren von gestern. So, da bin ich beruhigt. Yeah. Wie lange streamst du? Das weiß ich nicht. Das werden wir sehen. Ich denke mal, das sehen wir. Das werden wir schon sehen. Okay. So, immer diese Frage, wie lange der Stream noch geht, ne? Und die Antwort ist immer die gleiche. Jetzt live. Relevanten E3-Zeugs. So, gut, perfekt. Und das passt auch von der Zeit her sehr gut. Sehr schön, sehr schön. Vielen, vielen lieben Dank, Kilian. Nochmal. Und so, dann öffne ich mal hier die Fensteraufnahme. Genau, E3. Danke dir. Und
Der
guten Abend.
Eiergott wünscht dir einen herzlichen Glückwunsch zu allen deinen neuen Weltrekorden. Das gesamte Geld, was ich dir gespendet habe, nimm es bitte als Belohnung. Hab dich lieb, dein Eiergott Kilian.
Danke dir. Vielen, vielen lieben Dank. Und ich bin froh, dass es ankam. Und danke dir. Und so, genau, Desktop-Audio, das sollten wir alles hören. Perfekt. So, sehr schön. Sehr schön. Und schauen wir mal. Genau, angefangen hat das Ganze ja mit mit. Wir skippen das einfach durch.
So,
Und
there are
schauen
multiple
uns das
paths you can
relevante
take in this
Zeugs an.
game. The one we're playing
So,
right now is the
Firelink,
Black Eagle
Treehouses.
path, and this is
Ich
it
glaube, das interessiert
of
uns
that
nicht so
skill
sehr.
to be able.
Und ich habe schon Luigi's Mansion, glaube ich, gesehen,
Alright, we're gonna
als ich
go
vorher
ahead
mal
and jump into this
reingeguckt
battle.
habe.
Oh, there they
Und
are.
ich würde
There are
sagen,
the
damit
merchants.
starten
Oh,
wir auch.
they're in a load of trouble because that guy doesn't look friendly.
Ja,
Oh,
hier
yeah, not at
irgendwo.
all.
So,
So my group starts
Okay.
up, split up.
perfekt.
And
Eine
as
Stunde
you
vom
may
Treehouse
have seen,
gespart.
the objective
Für alle, die
here
sich
is
fragen,
to,
warum ich das jetzt erst streame, hier ist der Grund.
And also
Sehr schön.
Bryce from Next Level Games. Thanks so much for coming
Und
and joining
guten Abend
us,
an alle.
Bryce. We're really
Willkommen im
excited to
Stream.
have you here.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me, and thanks to the dev team for putting in all the hard work here, fixing up the
Ja.
last few bugs.
Pokémon gibt es, glaube ich, auch noch. Mario Maker. Also
So,
alles
Bryce is a
coole.
game director for Luigi's Mansion
ich hoffe,
3,
ihr
and Next
hört's.
Level Games also worked on
Nein, wir
Dark
sollten
Moon.
gerade gleich laut
Luigi's
sein.
Mansion 2 Dark Moon.
Deswegen bin ich jetzt ein bisschen
So,
ruhiger, während die da so
why don't
reden.
we hop into Scarescraper mode? Dan, why don't you walk us through this?
Und ich glaube, sie
Yeah,
zeigen
let's
den
just go right into it.
Wirrwarr-Tower,
We're going
ne?
to set up a local room.
Und
You can play with
man
one
kann's
to
online
8
spielen.
players,
Mit
either
Freunden.
locally or online. And I'm going to create a room. When you play the Scarescraper mode, you can play 5 floors, 10 floors, or a random number of floors. And the cool thing about these floors that's different from the hotel in Luigi's Mansion is they're procedurally generated,
Warum ist der
which
Chat
means they're
aus?
going to be different
Ist doch
every
an.
time with different hallways and rooms, so that it adds
Ist
to
nur nicht im
the
Stream zu sehen.
kind of the
Aber das
challenge
ist
and the fun of the game. That's one
irrelevant.
of the big improvements over LM2 is kind of endlessly generating floors, keep variety going for people over time. We're just jumping in.
Weil früher oder später dann Leute kommen mit
So,
langweilig
starting
oder
up,
so. Und
Bryce,
da habe
any
ich keinen Bock,
tips
dass das dann im
for
Stream zu sehen
playing
ist.
Scarescraper mode?
Stick together,
Stick
have
together,
a plan,
Und wir kommen alle.
You can use the live app to voice
Aber einmal
chat.
reicht.
So I think I'll team up with Roxanne. You guys will stick together on your side, and we'll try to battle these ghosts.
Sounds good.
That sounds great.
Alrighty.
Okay,
Right now
I'm
we are
Hank.
all
Und wir sind
separately
in dem
one
Hotel,
player
ne?
per system. So we're all playing locally. I'm gonna try to find
Oh,
Bryce.
würde ich am
I'm
liebsten
the
auch wieder im
yellow
Bett
Luigi.
rumspringen, ne?
I'm green.
Aber ich glaube, mein Bett würde dann kaputt
You
gehen.
battle some ghosts there, Roxanne.
Und Flora, willkommen.
Alright, and the objective for this first floor is to clear
Mini, hi.
all the ghosts on this floor within the time limit that's indicated up on top.
We found a hammer and a couple hoops in here. Oh, he's got a book. He's not going to let me.
Okay, und diese kleinen Geister, die haben wieder...
So, you can use the
Das fand ich in
ghosts
Luigi's
and
Mansion
other
2
ghosts,
schon cool, als
this time
diese
around.
kleinen Geister
you
immer
just
irgendwas
let me,
benutzt
Roxanne,
haben,
thanks.
Sorry about that.
um sich quasi zu verstärken.
Unintentional friendly fire.
Oh no, we're
We ran
running
into each other.
Our teamwork
Oh.
needs some work.
All right.
Und,
Okay,
okay, man braucht eine gewisse
So
Anzahl an
Dan, I'm
Geistern.
heading to you. I am the blue Luigi.
Head out
Okay.
of
I'm
here.
going to find and look at the map here and see. Okay, I see where you're at.
Das ist der Online-Modus, ja, der
The maps are mostly
Wirrwarr-Tower.
rectangular, so when there's gaps in the Already map, cleared that room. that usually means there's another room to find. So All right, we'll which way should we go go? right up in This here. is probably a. Oh. I'm out. We have some guys cleaning. And so even though we're
His
clearing
friends are
ghosts,
here.
we still have to
Machen die Leute, machen die Geister kaputt, die
potentially
die
find
Villa
keys
sauer
and other
halten.
things
Voll
here,
gemein.
so-
Ah, kann man sich auch gegenseitig
Yeah, we're competing
verletzen?
against time. Every floor is 5 minutes, and there's
Ah.
different objectives.
Das sah
on
jetzt
each
nicht so aus,
floor,
als ob man sich
we'll
gegenseitig verletzen kann, ne?
watch
Oder
how
doch?
much time we have left.
Yeah, so for this one,
That's a bathroom.
the bottom
Das
right
wäre auf jeden Fall cool.
is our objective, so we have to clear out all those ghosts.
Guten Abend an alle.
Which way you go? You want to Defend go my to the sleeping TV? body.
Oh nee, man kann sich nicht gegenseitig verletzen, sonst wäre das da gestanden, ne?
Oh, I think they've already been here.
Nicht irgendwie
Try
schade.
heading north here.
Sure
See
thing.
where we're going.
Und jeder
There's,
kann
also
seinen
power-ups
Luigi
you
noch
can find by
rausholen.
searching,
Okay.
I don't think there's various things.
Moin, willkommen.
Good job. We got that room. Help out. There we go. Double slam. Oh,
Oh,
fantastic.
that
There's a
caused
ghost in
so
here.
much damage. That's great. Oh, that's it.
Yeah, just the one guy in
This
here.
room's clear.
This Oh, room's there's a bunch in here. suspiciously Oh, we empty. got him. Oh, That no, usually mine means went. there's Mine got secrets. away.
Oh no! We'll find them again. Oh, I see them through the mirror.
Oh yeah, there. We got some more rooms to
Okay.
the left here, Roxanne.
Okay.
I snaked him.
Nice.
If you're
Die
playing
sammeln
alone,
das
you
Geld
can always
nicht?
spawn Luigi as kind of backup.
Okay.
All right, where do we go?
Daneben nicht.
Oh. Here we go. We can double. Is there one in here? Nice work.
Ethan, guten
Nice.
Abend.
These rehearsals really paid
All
off.
right.
We're much better than we were earlier. Oh yeah. It helps to have an expert with.
Ja,
on the
Kilian,
team.
danke
Oh,
dir.
you revealed a hidden thing.
Oh, I did.
But I don't know if there's any ghost in there. You can use the dark light to find ghosts as well if they tend to be invisible here. Oh. So I'll keep him. Did you find
There
some?
we go. Yes.
Or you just found,
Mario Maker kommt noch.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. We should be
Und es gibt,
MVPs on the
Spoiler, es
floor.
gibt mehr Spieler als Mario Maker.
Okay,
We'll
let's
see
take a
at
look
the
at the
point
map.
tally.
Keine
There's
Info
one
bekommen.
One more
behind the
gap
door.
in the
Ja,
map. in the
der
south.
Stream war relativ
She's in the back,
spontan.
but I got her.
Ich hab den nicht groß auf
Big
Planung
difference from
gestellt.
LM2 is we actually have hallways
Aber
and
gut.
balconies and closets.
Ist
That's
ja nicht so
from the
schlimm.
randomly generated system.
Eigentlich schon,
Nice,
aber
it feels a little bit more like a hotel.
man kennt's.
Oh wow, got lots of space.
Yeah, we got it. I think we got this. Which are we going this way?
Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna have to plunger you for that.
Oh, dieses Schlagen, ich mag das.
Is there anywhere else that we haven't been? I think we've already got that one.
Oh,
Nice.
Obwohl ich mir vorstellen kann, dass das Saugen schneller geht als das Schlagen.
Yeah.
I feel like you two carried us. Thank you.
I actually
won
got
again.
I got the map item right off the bat, so I knew
Oh.
exactly which ghosts
That's
were in
super
which
lucky.
room.
We were exploring.
All right.
Were there any keys on that floor? I don't think there
Yeah.
were.
No, there were no locked doors. It's
Oh.
random. There's even floor events, like sometimes the lights go out, or sometimes
Ah.
you lose your poltergeist and have to find it again. So try to keep it mixed up.
All right, let's go on to the next floor.
Yeah.
And see what our objective is. There's different objectives on every floor, so that adds again.
Man kann sich gegenseitig verletzen mit Schlagen.
Yeah, we
Okay.
hope you have a different playthrough every time.
Aber warum
Playing with
hat man
different people
da
will also make it
das
a
nicht
little different.
gesehen?
Yep.
Oder wird immer nur die eigene Herzanzeige?
So I do know
Angezeigt,
that
wenn man getroffen
Scarecrow
wird.
mode also
Das kann
in
sein.
Dark Moon. Were there
Aber gut, dann
any,
finde ich das gut.
challenges or victories as you were developing Scarecrow mode for Luigi's Mansion 3?
Yeah, as we mentioned, the variety was a big pillar for us, and we
I'm
moved
green.
to a procedurally generated system. On we found a balcony here. On LM2, we kind of just randomly delete things from an existing map.
So,
and
Nico,
this
du kriegst
time
jetzt
we're
noch eine
creating
letzte
it from
Warnung.
scratch. And one of the big challenges
Wenn du nochmal negativ auffällst,
that
ne, diese Wütend-Smiles, ich will die schon gar nicht mehr sehen.
algorithm
Oh,
feel
banana.
Kannst du
like
gerne
the
komplett
designer
weggehen.
has built it. And we spent a lot of time and even created tools where the designer
Die
could
Leute.
build maps quickly and then thumbs up or thumbs down the layouts. And the system would kind of ignore the ones that they didn't have fun. This objective is Toad. I found one here. I'll
Was
call
meinst
out
du,
on the
Ethan?
map.
Das mit dem Umschlagen und Schleudern?
So we have to get Toads back to the portal, and there should
Das
be
ist
four
doch
of them on the
lustig.
floor. And they're even more afraid of the ghosts.
Milan,
than
Lennox,
we do,
willkommen.
so we have to clear those out before we can escort them back.
Oh, sorry.
Right, so
Should
a
we go
little
look
bit.
for, should we go look for toads, Teresa?
Yeah,
Warte, was macht der
starting a
Tod
little
hier?
bit different for this floor. It's not
Muss man
so
denen einfach nur
important
helfen,
to
oder wie?
clear Rooms of ghosts. We need to track down where
Und dann folgt er
things
einem,
are
oder was?
I left
and make
behind.
better use of our
Hä?
time.
Hey, there's everybody.
Oh.
We're in the hallway.
Ah, da
now.
steht
Okay,
immer nur
let's
0 von
find
4
somewhere
Toads.
else to go. Did anybody
Oder
find
muss
a
man
toad?
den in einen bestimmten Raum bringen?
Someone has one.
On this floor, I feel comfortable splitting up so we can try to cover more ground.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna take
That's a good
this guy
strategy.
back at the moment.
Yep, I'm gonna go look for toads because I want to help.
Oh, actually,
Toad
I
Escort.
got the
Das kann
map
sein,
item
ja.
again.
Nice.
Okay.
I found
so
one.
Toads werden missbraucht, um die dann da
Daniel
einzusperren.
Green Luigi,
I'm
correct?
green.
What
Yep.
the fuck?
Okay, he's in the northwestern
There's a big red
Ja,
one.
Toads.
right now.
I think I got him. Now.
Okay.
White Labs, willkommen.
Oh,
He's
I think
still
I
up
just
there.
got the map.
Man die
item
Mitspieler
now, too.
verletzen
I see a
kann.
key and,
Ja, das macht das Ganze spannender und
and some
interessanter.
toads in the center room.
Go.
In Smash spielt man ja auch
Map
Teamkampf
Keypad
mit Schaden an. Teamschaden an.
Oh, we got him.
Okay.
Ohne wäre das...
I found red toad
Nicht so
and
geil.
Come on,
looks
little
like I
buddy.
also have to find a key.
All right, I got the yellow toad. I'm bringing him back.
We're still good on time here. Hey. So we're looking for a key in here,
Oh, it's in
Roxanne.
here, isn't it?
Alrighty.
Might-
Did you
might-
already turn all the drawers?
No, and I haven't found all
Oh,
the
no.
Aber ich denke, die Toads haben
I'm
aber auch
trapped behind
nochmal
the door and yellow toad's
Come on.
scared. He's
einen
really
anderen
got
Nutzen im
lost.
Hauptspiel.
Okay.
Oh,
Oder muss man die
I will
vielleicht dann
come
auch irgendwo hinbringen?
Oh, we have to look for the locked door on the map.
Das wäre
It's in the
irgendwie...
north center. Yeah.
Okay.
Das wäre irgendwie komisch.
Roxanne, you go there while I
Teresa's there. She's gonna help me.
take
gerne die
this
Maps sehen.
toad
Oh.
back to the portals.
Gotcha.
You saw the TV
Danke dir.
portals in yesterday's studio run through
Da
with
hast du recht.
Nabe-san and Ikebata-san.
Come on, Toad. Let's go. Oh, he likes you now.
Oh, okay. I guess we're going this way.
He likes whoever's closest.
Yeah.
Whoever's going to get him to safety.
All right. Good job.
Okay. Send him back to EGAD.
I have to watch out for those traps.
So now we need one more. The green
Yeah, the
toad.
green toad.
Right,
Let's
so
see on the... Oh, he's in the center
He's
map.
in this center, and the only way to access this room is
Oh.
from...
There's
Actually,
a lot of ghosts in there.
It looks like from the south.
Oh,
right,
okay.
from the south.
Okay,
so
follow me, Blue.
Coming
Everyone
with
follow Bryce's lead.
I guess Luigi. That'd be a good name.
Luigi.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I ran into
Just
you.
ran into you.
So,
Alright,
man kann.
me
So
up
right
to
now
you.
we're
There we go.
showing 4-player co-op, but there's also the ability to do up to 8 players. So with
Jetzt gucke
4
ich in den
players,
Chat
we're
rein.
each able to
Oder jetzt
also
gucke ich ins
summon
Spiel
a
rein, wenn ich in den Chat
Luigi,
gucke.
which we haven't shown yet, but it is really cool. But if you have 8 players,
Guck ich sonst rein?
the additional characters will be controlling a
Okay, das
Luigi.
passt.
Right, so it would be 4 Luigi and 4 Luigi.
Yeah.
Herr Spieler, hi. Und willkommen an alle.
Okay, found a big room here. We have to clear the ghosts out of the way of Toad's path back to the portal, or else he's just gonna freak out.
Ja, das gefällt mir tatsächlich. Das ist nicht schlecht.
Roxanne's just moved ahead to get all the points here, haven't you? Here we go. Okay,
Finders keepers.
we got
Toad's
50
mine.
seconds. Let's start searching for some
Okay.
time.
Der Toad muss
Okay,
noch
Roxanne, you take him back to the portal.
entsorgt
We'll
werden.
look for clocks. There's usually clocks in treasure chests or balconies, and they help you add a little bit of time in case you're running short.
Bam, bam.
Alright, I'm running as fast as I can, but I think I might cut it really close.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna try and take the portal and catch up.
Okay.
I'm stuck in a rug.
Oh no.
Ich sag, sie schaffen's.
Oh,
Ganz knapper.
I don't think
Oder?
we can save you. We only have
That's
20
all right.
seconds.
Yeah.
No, get the toad to
Ja,
Get them
That's a
down.
priority.
Get
We're
the
going
toad
to the next
Alright,
floor
I'm
by
in the room.
ourselves.
Ja.
There we go.
ganz knapp.
Come on, Toad,
Ah,
get in
there we
there.
Wird er reingeschmissen.
Good work,
Nicely
everybody.
done.
Got a little sweaty there.
Was passiert mit den Toads
Finally,
da?
my
That's
message
very
comes through.
clutch.
Denke,
The
die
internet in this hotel is very slow.
kommen dann nach Hause wieder.
Hey, Bryce overtook me in points.
Übrigens
Oh
hat mir den
my
Tag.
No,
Danke dir.
80 points.
Das ist schön
Close
zu hören.
match.
Well, I mean, the pros here. He's
Oh,
gotta, he's gotta show us up.
I didn't know. I thought we were
Frage ist,
cooperating.
kann man das mit Freunden spielen oder nur mit
Healthy
Randoms?
competition.
All right, let's see
online?
if we can get to another.
Aber ich denke schon. Also wenn sie haben es ja in Mario Maker geändert. Ich denke, die werden das auch
I'm
in
curious to
Luigi's
see what
Mansion
this
dann
next
so haben.
objective is.
Yeah, there's about 8 or 9 objectives total, and there's somebody
Toad wird ausgepresst,
special
um mehr
waiting at
Zeit
the
zu
top of the
bekommen.
hotel if we get there, but it takes a little bit of time.
This sounds both exciting and menacing.
It is.
Collect the money.
Collect
now
the
before
money,
we
Collect
get
the
behind.
money? Oh my gosh.
Okay, so this one, the strategy is probably best for us to pretty much divide.
drei geht
Oh,
morgen
look
noch.
at that, I got the map this time.
Bis morgen.
Yeah, split up and then try to look for the gold ghosts. They're the ones that kind of have the most money. Also, unhaunting furniture. There's usually better treasure and things that are missing. You can see right now on mine, there's a little bit of a shine on this box, and I'll spawn my Luigi to help me out. And there should be some ghosts in here. Ah, there we go. The gold ghosts are just as scared as Toad.
Ja. Bam, bam.
I think this is a good
Okay, das Schlagen ist doch schneller
objective
als
to use
das reine
toads to kind
Saugen.
of shake things up and reveal money as well. Is that right?
Yeah, oh, you've got a parcel on
Oh,
yours
yeah.
over there, so
Yep.
just open that up.
I'm gonna get Luigi
Look
to help.
for the pearls.
up.
We've added them back from LM1. They're worth the most amount of money.
Oh.
Come on,
So
Luigi.
bills, coins, bars, and now pearls are back.
So Bryce, because this supports 8 players, were there any specific challenges about incorporating that into this mode?
Yeah, Luigi's one of the pillars of the franchise is showing how expressive Luigi is, and we didn't want to use a simple model or change anything from the single-player game. So we spent a lot of time trying to get that traditional keyframe animation and all the beautiful blends on the facial morphs and additive blends.
Glaubst du, dass das mit Banjo auf Amazon stimmt? Das war sicherlich ein Fehler.
Is difficult. Running at 30 frames, as you're seeing right here, it was a technical challenge, but the clever people back at NLG made it happen,
Nice.
and we're hoping the world enjoys it.
I'm definitely having a lot of fun, like working with you guys here and trying to get through these 5 floors. It's a challenge in itself.
The competition's gotten a little more fierce. I noticed we're no longer helping each other.
We're all every man for himself.
Yeah,
When there's
All the
money on the
money.
about the
line.
money at the moment.
So,
I decided to play some pool for a little while. 'Cause throw these balls into the pockets.
oh gosh.
See if I can. Oh, sank the 8 ball.
Wow.
Okay, we're about halfway there. We might be getting too cocky. Every once in a while, this
Genau,
game
Jens.
gets quite difficult.
Die Frage ist ja, ob man es mit Freunden online spielen
Skyscraper
kann.
is more challenging than story mode.
Es ist eigentlich traurig, dass man
if
das
you
jetzt
really
fragen
want
muss,
to,
ne?
Go for some punishment. You could try to beat it by
Aber ich
yourself
denke schon.
or with one friend on one kit, and
Come on.
it's quite exhilarating when you finally get through to the top.
Oh, he got away.
Okay, we got about 2,000
Es
gold
geht um
left.
Luigi's Mansion,
Met
ne?
some people, but he
Aber es ist bestätigt, Gandalf?
I collected all the
Und Hai
gold.
bekommen.
All right,
no, I
I'll
got one.
leave.
For some reason, the phones
Okay,
are
kann
ringing
man.
in the
Gut.
hotel.
Na Gott sei
Oh.
Dank.
It's probably egad.
Some people are still interested in staying in this hotel, okay?
Yeah.
Well, there's money all over the place.
Oh,
Maybe that's why they're coming.
The balconies are a good place for money, and you can find things in the weirdest objects like these planters. Oh, I found a clock. That's going to be helpful. Ooh. The balconies, the floors
Ja,
are
das willkommen.
a little bit more cohesive than the ones in the single-player mode. So you can kind of guess where the rooms are going to be. If you see empty spaces or you reach a balcony, you know there's nothing else further
Oh, der
in
spuckt
that
wieder Geld.
direction.
Aw, someone already got that even.
500 left. We're flying here. So I got one of the upgrades now. My backpack's shiny. It's the super suction. So I'll deal more damage to ghosts. Not really helpful on this floor, but that's how the randomness works sometimes. There's also a super strobe that can strobe all the ghosts in one room. And finally, there's a trap detector helmet, which we invented after Tanabe-san was getting stuck quite a few too many times.
Oh, die armen
So
Mäuse.
if you get a siren on your head, that helps you detect where the traps are.
Aber es waren keine Geistermäuse, oder?
It's helpful. It's helpful.
Irgendwie doch.
Okay, we only need 400. Let's try to
Oh,
find
no.
some unexplored rooms here.
That door looks suspicious, so I'm not going in that one.
200. Who's going to win? Oh, I found a ghost in the bathroom here.
Oh.
Searching the toilets is often fun too, yeah, or the bathtub. Oh, we did it
Nicely done.
Whew, we overshot it by a few hundred.
with time to spare.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my
I thought I
gosh.
was doing
I
good.
know.
Ice is leaving us in the dust.
Wir schauen uns das Relevante an, Mew.
The gold ghosts were really
Wir skippen
the
quasi die
trick there.
unrelevanten Spiele.
All right.
Oder
I think that
wir
we're
schauen
running
uns
out of time,
das
so
an, was
unfortunately
die
we
meisten
can't climb
interessiert.
up any further this
Aw.
hotel, but
Für
that
die, die
was
sich
a
fragen,
ton of fun.
was wir hier
and
machen.
I cannot wait for this game to come out. This
Yep.
will be a blast.
Yeah, that was a blast. Thanks for letting me show this off to the world, guys.
Any
Yeah,
other
thanks so
final
much,
tips?
Bryce, for coming by. Do you have any last words that you want to share with the folks at home?
Yeah, we're hoping to finish the game up and satisfy your the fans' needs. We
Piraten
actually
sind keine
listened to the
Geister.
feedback on the
Oh je.
forums and in the reviews.
Dann
for
tötet man ja
LM2,
da echte
we
Leute,
changed the
echte
design of the
Tiere.
story mode, brought back some elements from LM1, and I think everybody's going to be pretty happy, especially with the return of the portrait or character ghosts. There's a couple dozen of them to explore in the game. So
Nice.
we hope you had fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again.
Nachteile, willkommen.
Guys, stay tuned. We have a lot more content to show for you. Next up is Trials of Mana. Don't go away.
Trials of Mana, ja, würde mich persönlich interessieren, aber auch für den heutigen Stream lassen wir das. So, da ist Mario Mega. Yes, Mario Mega. Oder was ist das hier? Okay, der Pause-Screen.
Nice work.
Der Pause-Screen. Okay. So. Wir gehen
Live at E3.
hier hin.
Teresa, and we're
So-
going to dive back into Super Mario Maker 2. This time, we're actually going to go under the hood with one of the levels that was created for the Invitational that happened a few days ago. And we're taking a look at the course here in play mode, but where do you want to get us started, Morgan?
Yeah, so this is the course that if you guys watched the Super Mario Maker Invitational, if you didn't, check it out. Oh, we've got that up on our Nintendo YouTube. But this is the course that we played in the first round. So all the contestants played it.
Oh, das ist doch
And,
mal
this course was all the courses for
das
the
erste Level
Invitational
von
created
dem
by folks in the
Invitational
Treehouse, which
Race.
I'm lucky to be a member of. And I was one of those folks, but actually a gentleman named Ethan Dill
Ich ärgere
created
mich
this
so ein
course,
bisschen im
but I
Nachhinein,
helped
dass ich das nicht
playtest it
hochgeladen
quite a
habe.
bit. So I feel like I have the authority
egal.
to talk about it behind the scenes. So I'm just playing through the start. The start's pretty simple. We've got a couple question mark blocks. We've
Jetzt
got
kann ich
super
mich wieder
mushroom
hier noch
there.
umplatzieren.
We've got a
Very large fish.
classic fish in a box gag there. Give me that super mushroom. And then a slope. We had to have a slope right out of the gate. And then an exclamation mark block, which you can see that there's no way to hit it from underneath, so I need to ground pound it. And right there, that's how I would get out of this area. But like I said, we're not here to play through this course necessarily. We're going to get under the hood. So let's hop into maker mode. And one thing right off the bat, I'm going to tap the right thumbstick here, and I can actually zoom out into this view mode, which is really cool for sort of when you're making and hopping between making and playing, getting sort of a bird's eye view of a course. So really simple course right here at the start. Like I said, not a whole lot going on. So let's zoom back in here. I'm going to hop into this. Just going to show off this fish in the box Go ahead and grab that out. Obviously, like in Mario Maker, to put an enemy in a you can just slide it into the question mark block. But whereas you would change an enemy status by shaking it in Mario Maker, and this time you actually just tap and hold, and that will give me all of my options there. So you can see that one already has a mushroom on there. I'm gonna go ahead and add wings to it.
Genau, man kann
Why not a parachute?
Power
also?
abgeben, Fallschirm und Flügel.
And these context-specific menus are something that you'll get when you place enemies, other course parts. It's really handy if you don't quite remember off the top of your head what options you have for a particular part. Instead of having to use a little bit of trial and error, you just tap and hold, see that menu, and all of your options are going to be laid out right there.
I'm going to change that to a fire flower for reasons that will become clear in a moment. So we actually also had some Twitter polls about this course. Maybe you guys saw that, maybe you did not. We had people vote on what we're going to add to this course, because one of the things about this course is that we didn't make it super hard because we wanted the players to get through it pretty quickly without dying too much. So
Wir wollten es nicht zu hart machen. Da hat man die eine gesehen, die nicht mal den ersten richtigen Raum geschafft
hat. Let me just put a pipe there so I can stand on it. So if I were underneath it, it would dole out one at a time. And again, if I'm on top, it would dole out all at once. And you can see when I'm in Maker mode that I'm able to control what exactly doles out. So I could, instead of what we're seeing there, I could make it a cool kind of a staircase.
And what's interesting with this course part, on top of the fact that you can make
da kann man nie wissen, was einem erwartet.
to jump along, you can actually do some interesting things with those blocks as they extend, pushing something else in the environment.
Ich sehe schon die dummen Trolls. Ja, genau, dass der mal da runtergeschoben wird von der Plattform. Genau das sehe ich jetzt schon. Das machen bestimmt viele.
Oh my gosh.
Which, maybe not all the way, but it just feels really good. Check this out. And I'm gonna actually need to get out of this.
Kann man das so lange ziehen, wie man will? Nee, wahrscheinlich nicht, ne?
To right there. That should work. I'm a sucker for aesthetic, so I have to fill this in even though it's not critical. And I'm gonna use a lot of ground blocks. So you can see on the top of my, all of my course elements and parts at the top, that's sort of filling in what I've used most recently, but I can tap and hold, and that pins that to my toolbar. So I will now have ground blocks.
Der Stream von gestern ist auf privat.
Fill that in, make that look nice.
That's incredibly handy, especially if you're trying to get to something really quickly and you're reusing that item.
So I'm going to go ahead and again, I'm just hopping minus to hop between make and play. If you're familiar with Mario Maker, you know that, but if not, very important. So let's just make sure that that works. Yep, that'll work.
That's good.
Nice.
All right. And now it's time to add what the winner of our Twitter poll was. We had 3 options for this one.
So poll 1.
Yeah, poll 1. I had the option of adding Boom Boom, Clear Pipe, or Bully.
Automatiklevel.
I did not expect Clear Pipe to win, but it did. So let's add some
Mit Standvertacken und so weiter.
You can see I'm hopping into
Stimmt, Press Down. Press Down, Automatiklevel oder so. Kann man da sicherlich bauen.
I can sort of hop right and left between. I've got items, enemies, I've got gizmos, and you can see. Actually, something I really like is that someone who works in localization, we actually can see the names of all the parts as you're selecting them. Like if you're not quite sure what to call it, it'll just tell you right there.
Yeah, I love this dial system. It's so user-friendly.
Aber wo ist der Hammer hier?
You visually see what you're selecting.
There's that clear pipe I'd like right there.
Den Hammer hat man jetzt nicht gesehen, ne?
I had this idea. I was actually talking to Ethan back
Weiß man inzwischen, für was der Hammer gut ist?
What to do with clear pipes, because again, I didn't necessarily expect it to win. And what I'm going to do is actually.
Gibt's den Hammer überhaupt? Ja, das frage ich mich halt jetzt auch, ne? Vielleicht hat man den eingebaut. Aber nicht in der Endfassung dann. Warte, der war doch da bei den normalen Power-Ups, ne? Oder? Jetzt schaue ich hier nochmal. Nö, der Hammer war doch hier drin, bei den Dingern, oder?
Take a spiny.
Ich habe das Gefühl, den Hammer gibt's gar nicht.
On top of that block that I need to get to. Let's see what happens now if I go into play mode. So now the spiny is
a little dangerous.
It's his own personal roller coaster.
Hammer ist nicht in 3D-Build.
Now to hit that block,
Doch,
I actually need
eigentlich
to.
schon.
Oh,
nice work.
Der wurde ja da gezeigt im 3D-Build.
Well, I have just a regular size spiny when you could have a. Let me tap that guy. I can make him a big guy.
But why?
I think that'll still work. Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
That poor little guy's kind of getting a little dizzy in there.
Yep. But actually, let's actually wipe out this clear pipe. I promise there's a reason I'm doing this. Actually, let me pin that clear pipe too so I have it.
Und in der
So let's actually add 2.
Und wahrscheinlich sehen. Aber bestimmt nicht wie japanische. Und
Well, it's interesting that we showed off during our first segment
Ja.
of Super Mario Maker 2 as well. On
Das
top
ist
of
nicht
being
drin.
able to use these
Der Hammer war
pipes
da
to
bei
get
den
yourself
ganzen
around,
Pops.
get enemies around. You can actually toss fireballs in there as
Aber hier
well.
ist er nicht
so
drin. Das
it
ist
really
sehr, sehr
is worth
komisch.
experimenting with this course part. There's some really interesting things you can do as far as
So you
getting
know
a
what?
whole bunch of stuff moving in a course at one time.
I'm actually going to go back to my original plan because I actually liked how that felt. And yeah, I want to show off that that fireball you just mentioned. So what I'm going to do now, so actually
Genau,
this looks
was-
like it's totally playable. I've already tested that going up to the pipe. Let me just zoom out. We can see another section of the course. Don't mind that.
We'll get to that
I think
later.
it's actually playable right now. So I'm going to actually tap, not tap minus, but I'm going to press and hold minus. And that'll allow me to play the course from the start as if it were brand new.
Weil das haben wir auch
Which is
nicht
important for getting the
freigeschaltet.
timing right of everything sort of loading into the course.
Das
properly.
kann auch sein, ja.
So let's go ahead and grab that fireball we mentioned.
Aber es würde mich wundern, wenn genau der Hammer halt
Now I
nicht
can work on that
freigeschaltet wird.
timing if I want, or I
Das sieht
think
lustig
I
aus,
can
wie die
just go
da-
like this.
Wie die Gegner da rumgehen.
That looks pretty cool.
Den kann man nicht töten?
I thought
A little
they-
added flair.
I thought they might take him out, but I think they actually have to be in this.
Und kann man den nicht töten?
I think to take him out, they might have to hit at the same time. So,
So,
you know what? Let's get out of here. This is already too crazy.
Da gibt doch
I
keinen
didn't need
Sinn.
these fireballs after all, but it works.
Iteration is
Okay.
what Super Mario Maker is all about.
That's
So
right.
you trial and error, you see how things work. And that was actually a big part of the development process of the invitational courses. Folks in Treehouse working on them, adjusting them, but then you always need fresh eyes to try them out and see, okay, how's this working as far as difficulty
we
curve?
play tested
and-
these courses so many times. So right away, you drop into the second part of the course, and this is kind of where the Invitational really got exciting because the players would pop out of this and they'd have an immediate left or right choice. And if they were paying attention to that first exclamation mark block, the reason that we made you ground pound it so you couldn't hit it from the bottom is that so if you're paying attention, you would immediately start doing this to advance more quickly. But if you were just to tap the bottom, it suddenly becomes a lot trickier. And although Abdallah won the in Mario Maker Invitational, the Dragon Feeny actually had the fastest time on the first course. And I went back and looked at the replay of her run, and the reason that she made up I think she beat him by about 30 seconds is on this section, she immediately started ground pounding. She didn't miss a beat, remembering that you can ground pound to get up this section more quickly.
That's right. I remember
And-
Die
this.
Blöcke ziehen sich
And
nach einer
not that
Zeit
he
wieder
didn't do
ein.
that as well, but she just really took straight to it. And the players that didn't complete this section, Yellow Killer Bee and the Completionist, they actually didn't quite get up this section as quickly as you can see.
I did find it really interesting that everybody took the right-hand path.
I
You
was
gave them a
just-
choose-your-own-adventure situation. I don't think anybody
So right there,
went left first.
that's how I would have gotten to the pipe. I'm intentionally falling, I swear, so that I can show the other side. The other side is a little trickier. It actually is deceivingly easy at first. But once you get up here, you can see that we've got these blinking blocks. And those blinking blocks don't require any kind of, I can't even show them. I said it was easy to get to them, but I couldn't even get to them. So these blinking blocks are just sort of blinking in and out of the course on a regular timer. You can hear the sound cue.
Und die scheinen aber
And
erst
you've got to
anfangen,
do it quick enough.
in Takt zu ändern,
Yeah, this was
wenn
definitely
die
a
im Screen sind.
challenging
And then
area
we've
for
got
the
Oder in einer
Sideways.
bestimmten Reichweite. Und oh.
Sideways, and those actually can kill you. I think some people watching the stream, nobody died on those, and they were like, will they hurt you? They will
No,
if
they
they
can.
pin you right against the wall.
Yeah.
So, this is actually a pretty challenging course, so I'm sort of thinking, how can we make this
Wir
course
kommen
more
alle.
accessible to
Jawohl.
people who maybe, we actually saw some of our competitors really couldn't get up this very easily. So, I want to show how quickly, or how simple
Das von heute.
change you can make, and change the mechanics only by changing a course theme. So for this is in the sub area of the course. I'm going to change it to forest.
And of course, vertical sub-areas being something else that's new to Super Mario Maker 2, it is really interesting the way you can build up these courses when you have so much more verticality to play with.
Yeah, and you can even see that it says, it just told me that if you fix to forest, you can
Kilian,
add
danke dir.
water, and that is exactly what I'm
Für
going
ein
to
Ei.
do. So
Vielen,
over
vielen
here to the
Dank.
left, I've got this water level, and at the bottom, I can start both the start of the water and then the high.
Das ist eigentlich ein
That
Thompson mehr,
dotted
ja.
line is sort of the high water mark. I'm going to take that all the way to the top, not up into the next area, just to this area. And I've also got this arrow, so I can tap it. If I tap that, the water will go to that point and then all the way back down. I just want it to fill the room completely. And if I tap and hold, I can change the speed at which the water will fill. I'm going to go, let's see how double speed works. And what this is going to do is, once I come into this room, I can obviously start, if I'm sort of going for speed, I could start.
Ah, das ist der gleiche Raum von vorhin,
Oh,
ne?
the ground pound's going to be a challenge.
I'm already
in the
behind.
water.
I'm already behind. So what's nice is it can actually fill the room. So a better player might be able
Oh.
to sort of stay ahead of the water.
Genau, wenn
There we go. Now I
man
can get a
gut
little-
ist,
a
dann
little lead
kommt
on
man
the
ohne
water.
den Wasser hoch.
Oh no.
Wenn man ganz
Still
schlecht ist, dann braucht man halt
this is
länger mehr
allowing a
Zeit,
player
ne?
that couldn't handle these jumps to much more slowly, but quite easily beat the course, but not nearly as quickly as somebody who had those more
Das ist ja auch
advanced,
ziemlich cool für die ganzen Speedrun-Level, ne?
platforming skills. And that's just a really neat way that you can sort of use these
Und
new...
wenn man dann irgendeine bestimmte Stelle nicht schafft, dann kann man ja trotzdem noch, kann man mit
I
einem
just love that
Fehler
because,
trotzdem
you know,
noch
if we'd had
durchkommen
this water
und
in
trotzdem
this
noch das Level
invitational,
schaffen.
like, it would have probably been too easy, but
Das ist
certainly no
cool.
one would have gotten bogged down right there.
Yeah, it definitely makes it possible for you to make something where if somebody wants to have a sort of time challenge and have a race, they can get through that much faster.
Er soll Lava draus machen.
Nobody's going to be left behind entirely.
Davon
This is the Koopa Troopa
wird es
car
auch viele Level
section. I'm
geben.
just gonna...
Mit Lava
The car
dann.
is so crazy. People are going to have so much fun making courses for this. We had to playtest this thing so much to make it so the player had to use the car. We didn't want them to be able to cheat by jumping out of the car. And I'm just going to rip right through it. But one thing I did want to show off... So I'm going to hop right back over to it. The car actually can brake. So I made that look easy because I've played it several times. But if you don't quite understand how the car works, you could say right here. Oh, so right there, those spikes would actually take me out. If I had lost my car at some point.
So if you had bumped it into, say, like the ground environment.
Yeah. So we have a reset door here. So if you had lost your car here, you could hop back in.
And that's actually one place where the trampolines are really useful. If you want to build a course and have surfaces the car's not going to get damaged on, it'll bounce safely off trampolines.
Yeah. And so this car, let me find a wall I can crash into. We took out most of the walls actually so that you can't break the car because we didn't want the players to get bogged down.
Das kann man kaputt machen.
But if I go to the end here.
There you go. You can see a little bit of the car coming off.
Ach, das kann man kaputt.
Show off those 3 hit
Ach, das
points.
kann kaputt
And now the
gehen.
P-switch that was triggered way up
Das
to
ist
the
ja
right,
cool.
you actually can't quite get through this without the car, which was by design. Because we wanted the car to...
Kommt man sicher auch
you could
drüber.
try. I mean, somebody probably could, but we wanted you to sort of need the car. All right,
Das ist
so
cool.
let's hop through there since I already did that once. All right, and
Jetzt kann man richtige Mario Kart Level bauen. Das
but the
stimmt.
car cannot go into pipes. You could take the car into that warp block we just came out of, but I'm gonna go ahead and head in this pipe, which I could not have taken the car through, even if I'd wanted to.
On the subject of the car, though, I do love that the Koopa Troopa isn't even wearing his shell. He's just chilling out like weekend-style Koopa Troopa, and you're like, dude, I need
Und
your
es gibt
car.
kein Yoshi im 3D-World-Style, ne?
It's so true.
Oh.
Okay, so this is the next section. This section's really simple. I actually love the forest theme, what it made this section look like. That tree just looks really neat.
The background's beautiful, too.
And the only way to advance in this section is to climb up here, grab the super bell, and turn into Cat Mario. And now that I am Cat Mario, I can, it adds a whole nother new gameplay style, mechanic, which is climbing walls. So I could quickly climb out of here. But this section was so sort of basic that we, again, had a Twitter poll asking how could we make this more exciting. We had 3 options for this one. If you guys voted, you saw that we could have Hop Chops, Piranha Creeper, or Bonsai Bill. And Piranha Creeper won, which is exciting for me because it fits the aesthetic of this forest theme so well. So Piranha Creepers, similar to the exclamation mark blocks, you kind of control, you as the creator, control like how they dole out. So
Du musst das alte Mario Maker spielen. Nö.
Have him kind of come over.
Warum sollte ich das
peek at
alte
me just
spielen?
as I come out of the pipe. I'm gonna actually
Gibt's keinen Grund mehr.
do the same thing over here.
Jus, hi. Willkommen. Willkommen im Stream.
A little bit different on that one. Oops, I didn't quite attach him. There we go. So let's go back in the pipe, because I want to see how these look when I actually load in the way you would. So suddenly this area is a lot more dangerous. And they actually I kind of like that they actually kind of guide me. I'm like, this tree feels safe. Let's go up there. And then from here I could actually, I think if I time it right, I can probably jump over him and then up the wall.
Frage ist, resettet sich das Power-Up, wenn man in die Röhre nochmal reingeht? Wahrscheinlich, ne?
You can kill these things too. But if I tap and hold, you
Oder?
can also do blue.
Also das Power-Up sollte sich schon resetten, ne?
What those do.
Sonst kann man das Level ja nicht
extend
abschließen, ne?
out to where you made them end and just kind of hang out.
And I
then
think the
they-
sound is almost like they're sleeping. You
Yeah.
hear a little snoring sound?
Let's change those back to purple.
Aber bis man sie aufwacht, ne? Aufweckt.
It's a little bit more exciting. I think. I'm gonna make this one not so difficult. Since one thing I was doing, we'll have it. I should be able to now climb up, grab the cat suit, wait for him to go down, climb up, ooh, and get past there.
Nice.
This next section, I'm not gonna edit this section. I'm just gonna get past it. Really cool mechanic here, though. You have to wait for the snake block to fill over, to cover up. Oh no!
This was the part that also got the players at the Invitational too. It was a little bit challenging to traverse both sides.
If I jump to the left, I'll hit those springs, but if I wait for the snake block, I can... really messing this up.
I think it was interesting since the purpose of this was a speedrun competition. You gave them two
tatsächlich
options,
nicht so
the
einfach.
blue and the green snake block. So the green one is going to move a little bit more slowly, going to give you a bit more time to land those jumps. But if you really want to go for a faster time and you want to take the extra risk, you go with the blue side, it's going to go faster for you.
Yep. Exactly. Oh, no, no. Why would I do that? Why would I do that?
No.
I'm stubbornly going to actually do it
Sind wir den rechten
instead
Weg?
of cheating. Wait for it. Cover those up and over and up and over. Okay. Okay.
Gelbe Röhre sieht so aus wie ein
I'm
Stamm.
cheating. I'm cheating.
Ja, also
I'm
optisch
sorry,
kann man da auch viel
Ethan.
For
machen.
the sake of time, we're
Mit
gonna
den verschiedenen
We're gonna
farbigen
watch the
Röhren.
invitation. Let's see how the players made it through that. Because we have a really important thing to do this last section. So last section has these two jumps, kind of challenging jumps, up to the big finish.
Ich glaube, 3D World Level, also die mal Mecha 1 gespielt haben, die werden jetzt sehr viele 3D World Levels
I'd go into
bauen.
that exclamation mark block, it would drop me at the goal pole, and I'm done. But that's a very simple ending, and we wanted to have a boss battle.
Yeah, you have a lot of open air to play with down there as well. It seems like it'd be worthwhile to take some advantage of that.
So as quick as I can, I'm going to
Aber hi.
get out of the way there. I'm actually going to use this warp block.
And this
I'll
is
put
where we
it
get
down
into our
here.
final poll result.
Yep. I'm going to do some... I love it because I can do this zoomed out mode, and I can do some hardcore sort of bird's eye view editing. I can't add new parts when I'm in this zoomed out mode, but I can grab blocks like this and then copy those to help fill these big swaths of course really quickly, which is... Oh, bye-bye. And I don't even have to worry that I'm grabbing the exact amount I want. I'm just sort of, you know, it'll fill in what's not filled in. Okay, I've got my... That's there. I've got a
Ding
nice
ist auch so
open
easy in
space.
Mecha 1? Ich glaube nicht, ne?
Zoom back in so I can actually change parts. We're gonna tap these guys in and out. Quickly give me some ground here.
Willkommen an alle im Stream. Und willkommen auch an alle neuen Zuschauer hier. Falls hier jemand neu
Alright, so
ist,
I want
könnt ihr
you
den
to
Kanal
actually
gerne
have to
kostenlos
defeat
abonnieren.
our
Würde mich
boss.
freuen.
So,
Hier gibt es
first of all,
sehr,
who
sehr,
are we
sehr
gonna
viel
add?
Mario Maker 2
We have
Content
three
demnächst. Und auch noch
So
coole
our
Challenges
Twitter poll
und so weiter
results,
zu Mario Maker
I
1.
We want a big
Und
Meowser.
wir haben hier
Maybe
eine
wins
richtig
as well.
coole
Here's
Zeit.
Meowser. Here is Big Meowser.
Nice.
Here is
Wir haben kopiert
big
hat schon, okay.
Flying Meowser. And I actually want you to
Flying
have to
big
defeat him. So I'm going
Meowser.
to change this to a key warp block. And of course, we're going to need a
Okay.
key to activate that. So let's grab that. Drop it in, attach it to Meowser.
Das ist cool.
And if I'm going to defeat Meowser, I'm
Hat
going
man auch
to need
noch
some
mal-
help. So I'm going to give myself
Aber gibt's hier Türen in dem
a
Style?
pipe with some to make sure I have a
Gibt's hier Türen?
persistent
Ja,
supply
gibt es
of
natürlich, ja klar.
Fire flowers.
Und dann gibt es noch mehr Möglichkeiten, Schlüsseltüren
I'd
zu
like to see
machen
more of
quasi.
that Koopa Troopa card. So let's give Big Meowser a few buddies. I might be putting those for my own benefit, not Bowser. We'll see.
Wir gucken in dem
see
Stream
how
alles
this works.
Interessante ran.
Oh, they're sleeping.
They're sleeping. Wake up,
Aw.
baby. Wake up. Give me one of those cars. Oh
And-
my.
So Meowser, when he's got wings, has
Okay.
some really interesting attack patterns as well. So we might see him go through a few of those here.
Oh, der Koopa will wieder in sein Auto zurück, oder?
I'm crashing one car into another.
Das sah so aus. Oder wollte er nur mal Mario angreifen?
Not today.
Oh. Is he gonna do his ability?
Ich denke nicht, dass er den so besiegen kann.
There we
There
go.
it is.
No, I got a car. Sucker.
Careful.
Okay, der rastet ja komplett aus.
I need another fire flower. Where is it? Yes.
Der wollte wieder rein, ja.
Uh-oh.
Oh my
He's a
god.
little burly.
I will
Yeah,
drive.
he is.
Oh no.
Oh,
I
grab
need-
fire
I need my-
flower.
fire flower,
Go
please.
back! Oh
Oh my gosh. I was about to say, Morgan, you're running out of cars, but
I know.
you just ran out of lives.
I think we have time for one more try, though.
One more try. They're gonna
Den
cut
kann man
me
doch auch
off
mit
the
dem
stream, and I'm just gonna be
Feuerball
playing
kann man
this
den
on
doch auch
the
besiegen.
stage persistently for the next like hour and ruin the whole stream.
Oh, it's absolute madness and chaos.
Genau, das sind Einwegschlüsseltüren.
Oh.
Get him.
Die kann man nicht mehr wieder zurück.
Nice. Oh.
Kann man aber auch mit den normalen Türen machen, so. Einfach in der Luft
Oh, he followed you.
platzieren oder irgendwie so. Damit man nicht wieder reinkommt.
Don't jump out of my car. Back in my car. Back in my car.
Oh, no,
no, back in my
He
car.
also has fireballs.
Power up!
My car has no wheel in the front. This is
It's still good. You got 3 wheels. You can make this work with 3 wheels.
Ah, jetzt
Oh my god.
macht das auch mal den Feuerblumen.
Oh my gosh, Morgan.
everything's fine.
Just everything's on fire, but it's fine.
Pum kommt vielleicht noch in den anderen
Ja.
Styles.
Okay, I believe in you. You can do this with fireballs.
But this is actually without the car. It's actually giving me a chance to show off. This
Oh,
is what's
pum,
cool
pum.
about the 3D world style is it's 2D 3D world, but there's all these sort of effects that. Oh yes,
Yes.
Good job.
got my key.
You got a
Give me
little
that.
firework display too.
Yes.
Animal Crossing kommt später, ja.
Sorry, I got
done,
really
sir.
excited.
No, dude, that was awesome.
We're probably way behind now, but I don't care. I
That's
defeated
all
Big
right.
Flying Meowser. Hopefully that showed you guys a way that we took a course that we designed to be a little bit easier. Maybe not a lot of enemies. We added a boss fight. We made one of those parts that's really tricky, easier to get up. Showed off some of the maker tools. Yeah, I could go on all day, but I'm probably out of time.
And we also made this interactive because of the poll, so we
Hat der
had a
seine
lot of
Switch
fun.
drin?
Yeah, thanks if you guys voted on the polls, and thanks if you watched
Was
the
ist denn das da?
Super Mario Maker 2 Invitational. If you want to see this course in action, go back and check that out.
And some other really fun courses as well. That
Ja,
were
das ist
in
nicht
there.
der
That
normale
was
Switch
pretty,
Dock.
pretty intense. And that is about
Ja?
all the
Nö.
time we've got today. But Morgan and Teresa, thanks so much for coming up and hanging out.
Yeah.
Folks, I hope you enjoyed that. Please stay tuned. We're going to be coming back in a real quick break with
Voll
some
mit
Famous Actors
Freunden online
Podcast,
spielen
so
zu können.
please stay
Ja,
tuned.
Bye.
das ist sehr, sehr gut. So, dann gucken wir. So, da haben wir das. Okay. Das. Nee, kein Pokémon? Was ist das Pokémon?
Of the
Ist das Pokémon?
call tight on time, but a lot
Nee,
of
das ist was
content to
anderes.
talk about
Okay.
too.
Puts the monsters in a groove as well.
Yes.
And another thing that I want to talk about is
Yeah.
tactics. So tactics is one of the incorporations to the traditional turn-based battle system. This allows me to
Animal
either
Crossing ist doch noch gar nicht.
dictate how I want
Irgendjemand hat gesagt, Animal
my
Crossing
party
ist
members
da, aber
to,
nein,
act.
halt nicht.
Or I can ask them
Wir
to
haben
just go
einen
on
Spezialdoc,
autopilot
ja.
and choose to either like use a balance of
So, oder?
Unique to the Sword Legion, which
Nee.
is the slashing move.
Nee. Animal Crossing war doch gar nicht dran. Ich denke mal, da wird auch nichts gezeigt. Also. Hab den Pokémon-Teil schon gesehen. Ja, stimmt. Aber den können wir uns auch noch angucken. Das mache ich auch. Das mache ich auch. Warte, wie mache ich das am besten? Genau, wir holen uns jetzt den Pokémon-Teil noch ran. Den von gestern. Jupp. Das können wir machen. Ich hoffe, der ist hier drauf auf dem Kanal. So. Ah ja, Treehouse Tag 1. Ich denke, das nehmen wir einfach mal. Dies nehmen wir. Nehmen wir. Ja. E3. Fensteraufnahme. Gott. Oh ne, so machen wir das. So machen wir das. Perfekt. Okay. Gut. So. Hier war Pokémon, ne? Das habe ich auch noch nicht gesehen. Da hatte ich das Race.
まあ、今回ワイルドエリア、まあ、こういう
Oh ja,
Do you have
Pokémon.
anything to add to that information?
3
Okay.
days to Treehouse Live.
Sehr gut.
We'll have discussions with developers about the games that they're building. We'll give you some sneak peeks.
Theoretisch
of
können wir auch
first
nochmal
play.
Mecha
And we
den
really
zweiten
look
Teil
forward to
angucken.
giving
Oh,
you
den anderen Teil, ne?
a chance to see everything that we have to offer at
Pokémon sah
E3
nicht
this
gut
year.
aus.
Thank you very much.
Wirklich? So, ich hoffe,
Hi everyone,
Pokémon
welcome
klemmt
to
jetzt nicht
Nintendo
wieder.
Treehouse Live 2019.
Machen
My
die
name
ganz
is
gerne.
Teresa, and we're here to kick off to
Aber
the
egal, ich
first
scheiß
view of
drauf.
the live gameplay of Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. I'm here with
Ach,
our
gestern haben
very,
Sie das.
very special
Okay,
guests,
gut. Ja, dann
Mr.
ist es gut, dass wir das jetzt
Masuda,
hier
who is
streamen.
the game producer,
Ah, gut,
Mr. Omori, who is the game director,
Genau, dann machen wir
and
das
they're
jetzt hier.
accompanied by David from the Pokemon Company.
Und
Thank you very
wir
much.
schauen.
There
Das
also
passt ja,
have
das
little
passt ja sehr
cameo
gut.
appearances of
Das
Score
passt
Bunny,
gut.
Gurki, and Sobble.
Dann kommt heute auch nochmal Animal Crossing,
連れてきました。
Pokémon und
And then I'm also accompanied by
nochmal den Mario
Terry
Maker Teil.
and Bill, who just cartwheeled into our segment over here.
Genau, den machen wir vielleicht auch noch.
All right,
Ja.
so to kick things off, there was a lot of
Den
announcements
Pokémon-Teil, den haben wir
from
nicht
the
gestern gesehen.
Pokemon Direct last week, and then there was some more information that came
Oh,
out this morning.
das Minion,
Mr.
das-
Masuda, Mr.
oh.
Omori, do you have anything to add
Das sieht
to
so böse aus.
that information?
先日の任天堂ダイレクトもそうなんですけども、まあ先ほどのすみません、先ほどの任天堂ダイレクトあと先日のポケモンダイレクトでいろいろ新情報が出たと思うんですけれども、なんかこう追加で話していただけることありますでしょうか。
Nico Wolf, du hast schon mehrere Warnungen gekriegt.
ダイマックス、そして伝説のポケモンをご紹介する
Das
こ
sieht
と
jetzt schon
が
wieder so danach
できたの
aus,
で
als ob du
まあ
wieder
多く
nerven
の
willst.
皆さんがソードシールドの魅力をまず少し知ってもらえたかなと思ってます。
So we're really happy to finally be able to reveal one of the big features of the game called Dynamax, as well as the legendary Pokemon. And I think that's really getting a
Ah, der
lot of the fans out there
Gesichtsausdruck von dem
excited for the
Minion.
game.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited. I think we're gonna get a sneak peek to that.
Warum sieht das so
element,
traurig
but Bill, do you
aus?
have anything else to add?
That's right. I
Das
think
muss man auf den
today
Kopf
was
stellen.
anything you can share about what we're going to be showing on Treehouse Live for everybody watching at home.
まあ本日のこのツリーハウスライブでどういったことを見せることになるんでしょうか。
そうですね。
Glückwunsch
先ほどのダイレクトで水タイプのジムの挑戦というところと、あとジムリーダーのルリナーについて公開しました。で今回のツリーハウスライブではワイルドエリア、マックスレイドバトルについて実際にプレイして紹介したいなと思います。
Man muss es einfach auf den Kopf stellen.
Revealed the water
Dann ist
type
es
gym
glücklich.
and the gym challenge and the gym leader Nessa. But in today's Treehouse Live, I want to demonstrate via actual live gameplay the wild area as well as some max raid battle gameplay.
That's right, and the wild area is something that's brand new for the Pokemon games. We have not had an area like this. Can you maybe give people just a little bit of information about what it is?
そうですね。今回ワイルドエリア、こういう
Den Startermilch.
エリアっていうのは多分ポケモン
Wahrscheinlich den
初めての
Wasserstarter
ことだ
stand
と思うんで
jetzt.
すけれども、もうちょっと詳しく教えてもらえますでしょうか。
そうですね。このワイルドエリアなんですけども、最も多くの種類のポケモンが生息してまして、天候によっても出現するポケモンが変わる今までのポケットモンスターシリーズでは存在しなかったような広大なエリアとなってます。
So this is really kind of the first time that we've had such a huge, wide open area in the Pokemon main series RPGs, and you'll, in the wild area, really find the widest variety of wild Pokemon out of any area in the games, and it also changes the Pokemon you can encounter depending on the weather conditions and where you go and the time of day.
あとその町と町をつないでいるので、冒険中にも何回もここに訪れることになります。あとちょっと見ていただいて分かる通り、カメラを自由に動かすことができるので、これによって落ちているアイテムであったり、空を飛んでいるポケモンを探すこともできます。
And the wild area, it spans across multiple towns, so your adventure will take you back to this, the wild area multiple times. And as you can see on screen here, you can control the camera freely in this area to better find hidden items that are lying about and also see the Pokemon that are flying above in the sky.
Well, yes, and it looks like we are seeing Pokemon out in the field here, correct?
そうですね、フィールドポケモンがちょっとうろうろしているような感じには見えるんですけども。
そうですね。ああいったその生き生きと動いている
Ich finde es gut, dass man selbst bestimmen kann, wenn man gegen die antritt.
ちょっと出ましたけど、ちょっとびっくりマークが出てくるのがあるんですけども、あれはまたシンボルポケモンではいない新しいポケモンが出るかもしれないというそのランダムのエンカウントのドキドキ感、どちらも遊べるようになってます。
So yeah, we have the Pokemon wandering about the field. We call them kind of symbol encounters, where you can see the Pokemon before you actually encounter it. But at the same time, you actually just saw an exclamation mark pop up in the tall grass there, and that kind of simplifies that it's a random encounter, so you don't know which Pokemon you're going to encounter. We wanted to have a mixture of both types of encounters in these games.
Ich finde es eigentlich ganz gut.
Also let players enjoy that excitement
Fahrrad,
of not knowing what they're going to encounter.
Yeah, that's great. It looks like we've got a lot of different types of Pokemon that appear out here in the wild area as well.
そうですね、ワイルドエリアのこのフィールド上にたくさんいろんな種類のポケモンが出てるように見えますね。
はいはい、そうですね。今ちょっとバトルでも分かる通り、今回は単性のバトルという風になってまして、 今回のターンシェルバトルで、実際に戦ったりボールを投げたりして
Und die Sounds so ein bisschen ungewohnt sind, ne?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of Pokemon to encounter, and of course, as you can see here, the battle system, it's the traditional turn-based battle where you choose moves to defeat the wild Pokemon before you can catch it, or battle against it before you catch it.
ポケモンごとに、特性があったり、道具を持たせることもできますので、
Ach, der Pflanzenstaat hat immer einen Stock am Start.
体験できるようになってます。
And you'll find that Pokemon abilities are back, as well as the ability to give them items to hold. So there's definitely a lot of depth to the battle system.
Yeah, certainly I think fans are going to look forward to the depth within that battle system, and they'll be able to enjoy that both within the game as well as in their one-on-one battles as well.
そうですね。そういう深いバトルシステム多分楽しみにしてるファンもいると思うんですけど、こういう野生ポケモンとのバトルだけではなくて、他のプレイヤーとの通信対戦を通してもできるということですよね。
そうですね。通信で対戦したり、その奥深いバトル、そうですね、待ってる方もいらっしゃると思うんで、そういった
Okay, die leveln wieder alle auf einmal,
いただけるようなバトルになっていますね。
Yeah, I definitely you can have link battles with other players, and of course, I think there's a lot of fans out there that are looking forward to the kind of really, in-depth or the deep battle system that we have to, really compete with each other.
Wie das finden soll, keine Ahnung.
今雨降ってますけども、雨降ってるんで、その水タイプのポケモンが出てます。で、場所によってはその天候が変わったりすることもあって、それで雪が降れば氷タイプが出てくるっていう様々なポケモンが出てくる。
So aufgetaucht, oder?
You can see it's actually raining right now.
Ah, okay. Also auf der Overworld, da tauchen auch die Gegner auch random auf. Und auf dem Gras sind sie halt schon von vornherein aus da.
And depending on the weather condition, the kind of certain types of Pokemon will appear more frequently. Like right now, we'll see more water-type Pokemon. And maybe if it was snowing, you would see more ice-type Pokemon, for example.
Ja, bei Let's Go war das jetzt, fand ich auch kein Problem, dass jeder seine EP gekriegt hat.
行くたびに新しい出会いが待ってますんで、毎日ワイルドエリアに訪れてほしいなと思います。
And the climate's pretty dynamic, so if you come back a different day, the weather may be completely different. So we really think that players will have a lot of fun coming back multiple times and seeing the different Pokemon that appear depending on the weather conditions.
So we were talking about the different encounters, but it looks like Terry can also whistle to attract Pokemon, and different Pokemon have different reactions to when he does that.
エンカウントシステムの話をしてたと思うんですけど、今口笛をして、いろんな反応をしてると思うんですけど、もうちょっと教えてもらえますでしょうか。
そうですね。そのポケモンは種類によって、プレイヤーを見ると近づいてきたり、逆に逃げていったりするポケモンもいます。なかなか空を飛んでいるポケモンとかが捕まえづらかったりするんですけど、口笛を吹くことで、こちらに寄せたりとかですねして、
Also der ist nicht einfach so random erschienen.
Yeah, the whistle is kind of key to encountering certain types of Pokemon.
Ob jeder sich rausbuddelt oder so.
Encounter them very easily, so you have to attract their attention by whistling at them. But at the same time, like you said, they're kind of different Pokemon react differently. Some might see you whistle and run away, for example, or others may be curious about you and approach you.
Terry's doing a great job of battling and capturing Pokemon here in the wild area.
Hoffentlich ist der kurze Ladelag nicht immer drin. Was meinst du damit?
Expanding the party.
That's right. So I think for today's Treehouse Live segment, we're going to explore this part of the wild area as we kind of head closer to one of the towns in the game. And that should give us a good sense of this one particular part of the wild area, but clearly there's a lot more to the wild area than even what we're showing here today.
今日お見せするのは、あくまでもこの近くの町に、近づく、この辺りだけをちょっと紹介するんですけども、もっともっと本当広くていろんな場所がワイルドエリアにあるということですよね。
そうですね。かなりポケモンシリーズにおいては広い場所となってます。
Es ist mir prinzipiell egal.
行けば実は強いポケモンとかも出たりしてですね。
Nimm das, was ich kriege, sagen wir es so.
遠くに行ってみたりとか。近くでいろんなポケモン捕まえたりとか、いろいろ冒険してもらえたらなと思います。
Yeah, this is just a small portion of the wild area. If you wanted to walk really far out there, there's lots of stuff to discover, and it's much wider, available to discover. For example, much stronger Pokemon that you may want to go try and seek out.
あと先ほどちょっとしゃがみながら草むらを歩いてたりしたんですけども。ポケモンによっては、プレイヤーを見つけると逃げてしまうポケモンもいますので、しゃがみながら近づくと気づかれずにエンカウントすることもできます。
Yeah, we were actually just, I think Terry was showing the crouching down motion where you can kind of get into the tall grass and quietly approach some of the more perhaps timid Pokemon. Otherwise, they might run away from you.
We had talked about how when the weather changes, that specific Pokemon like appear more often. So like right now it's hailing.
Ja, die tauchen alle so ein bisschen vom Boden auf. Ich denke, das ist so programmiert, dass man nicht direkt in den Pokémon spawnt, sondern dass man schon noch darauf reagieren kann.
Since it's snowing right now, we might see a more ice-type Pokemon appearing in the field.
And here we have Terry taunting Choke here.
Always picking my fights.
Now, of course, you can access the wild area from very early in the game, but as we see here, there are some rather strong Pokemon out there.
結構序盤からワイルドエリアに行けるようになると思うんですけども、結構じゃあここではレベル高いポケモンも出現するということですね。
そうですね。ちょっと奥に行けばやっぱりレベルの高いポケモンって今かなりこうレベルに差があるんで、これはちょっと逃げた方がいいんじゃないですか。
Yeah, depending on where you go, there'll be some very high level Pokemon that you may
sieht schon gut aus.
Probably run away from this one.
Oh no.
Vor allem, es ist halt erst. Es ist halt aber auch erst das erste Spiel, ne? Was halt so in diesem Artstyle ist. Und dafür ist das echt gut.
Of course, one of the other things that we saw in one of the Nintendo Directs was that to kind of help you navigate the wild area, we saw the return of the bicycle.
そうですね。先ほども見たんですけれども、
Kann einfach so Fahrrad fahren. Man wird gezwungen, einen Helm zu tragen.
そうですね。やっぱり自転車はファンも結構多くいたりするんで、今回こう自転車に乗ってこの広大なエリアを冒険することができます。
Yeah, I think there are a lot of fans looking forward to the return of the bike. It definitely helps
ich habe mich gerade schon gefragt, was das da an den Seiten ist.
ちょっとこう、
Okay.
ダッシュでこう。いきなり
Das sieht irgendwie komisch
することもできたり、あとは今水上にそのまま乗れたと思うんですけど、スムーズにこう水上にも入れるんで、こういう広大なエリアをこうなんでしょうね、自由にこう冒険することができるようになってます。
Yeah, it really helps you get around the wild area very quickly. You can even hold down the B button to kind of get a little dash move going, so you can get some extra speed. And as you saw, you can just kind of seamlessly transition to going above, on the lake,
so ein Fahrrad will ich
riding
auch.
over the water. So it definitely helps you get around.
This is definitely a bike I wish I had when I was younger.
子供の時にこういう自転車があればよかったなって。
そうですね。ダッシュできたらすごいスピードで走れますから。
Yeah, definitely get you around quickly.
And then, of course, we also see that there's certain secrets out in the wild area for players to find.
なんかちょっとなんていうんですか、隠れ的なものもちょっと調べ。
Weiter, lest dir bitte die Regeln durch in den nächsten 300 Sekunden. Danke dir.
キラキラと光ってるアイテ
Spielen findest du in der Beschreibung.
毎日訪れるとまた新しいアイテムを見つけることができます。
Yeah, every time you come back, you'll find like kind of hidden items in different spots in the wild area, so it's a lot of fun to walk around and discover them.
And of course, activities to enjoy like fishing.
あと釣りも今ちょっとポケモンちょっと釣って。
そうですね。それ釣りもワイルドエリアではいろんなことができるんですけど、釣りもその一つですね。
Yeah, there's definitely a lot to do in the wild area, and as you mentioned, fishing is one of them.
いろんなポケモンに出会えるんで、もう釣ったりいろんなポケモンに出会ったりしてほしいなと思います。
A lot of different ways to encounter the variety of Pokemon in the area.
Ich glaube, man muss keine Mütze aufhaben. Ja, ich denke, die kannst du wegmachen, denke ich. Die Mütze gefällt mir ehrlich gesagt auch nicht so gut. Aber die kann man 100% wegmachen.
Y と書かれているものと、その上にいろんなアイコンがステッカーがあるんですけども、これは YY 通信といって今回のソードシールドでいろんな通信を集めるような仕組みがこの YY 通信。
Na, Surfer hat's ersetzt.
So this is part of the new kind of communication functionality we're calling that through this device
voll
called the
irgendwelche Scheren dran.
And you can actually have these what we're calling stamps appear to kind of show what other players are up to.
今
Ich denke mal, es wird die eine oder andere VM vielleicht damit ersetzt, aber nicht alles.
その交換をしたいっていうアイコンがここに出てます。
So this is actually Masuda-san playing right next to us. He's playing the Gloria character there, but this stamp is signifying that he wants to trade with us.
ここで
surfen kann man.
通信交換とか対戦とかを
Vielleicht noch Zerschneider?
呼びかけたりして。
Dann wird schon ein bisschen abgedreht.
So you can use these stamps to kind of invite people to battle, trade, or even try and get other players to join you in a max raid battle.
Gloria. これ増田さんです。
This is actually Masuda-san. He's playing Gloria right now.
Das war ein normaler NPC? Okay, die laufen da auch so. Tatsächlich so groß rum.
違う目的を持って遊んでたりするんですけども、そういったプレイヤーが出会う場所でもありますね。
So there's a lot of different reasons that players will come back to the wild area, but you can kind of encounter them, other players, if you're connected in the wild area and see them in your game.
ローカル通信であれば、近くで遊んでいるプレイヤーがそのまま表示されますし、インターネット通信をすれば世界中のプレイヤーがこのワイルドエリアで一緒に遊ぶことができます。
And this works either via local wireless with other players that are nearby playing at the same time. You can also connect with, to the internet to kind of play with other players from around the world.
That's right, and it looks like now Terry has gotten to the town that we were heading towards.
Right, but there's some lights in the background, these red pillar lights. Could you guys explain what these are?
ちょっと目的地に町に今到着したんですけども、ちょっと遠くに赤い光の柱みたいなものがあるんですけども、それって何でしょうか？
そうですね。
Das ist die Logik, die man hier nicht erfüllen wird, wahrscheinlich.
中に非常に強力なダイマックスポケモンがいます。そのパワー、エネルギーが赤い光で出ています。
So those are actually what are called Pokemon dens, and there's a red light emitting from them when there is a Dynamax Pokemon inside. So the red light kind of represents the energy of the Dynamax phenomenon.
光のところに行くとマックスレイドバトルをチャレンジすることができます。
And what that means for the player is that you can go there and encounter that Dynamax Pokemon in a max raid battle.
Well, perhaps we should show what the max raid battle is like.
そうですね。じゃあ早速じゃあマックスレイドバトルも
そうですね。
やってみたいと思います。
はい。
All right. So as we're prepping up to do said max raid battle, Mr. Omori, Mr. Masuda, could you explain a little bit more to the people watching at home about what the Dynamax feature is?
ちょっとダイナマックスについてもう少し詳しく教えてもらっていいですか？
そうですね。これまでですね、メガ進化とか Z 技っていう要素があったんですけども、今作ポケモンがパワーアップする新要素として入ったのがこのダイマックスです。
So Dynamax is actually a new way to power up your Pokemon in these games. It replaces what we've seen previously, for example, Mega Evolution and Z moves.
これそうですね。ダイマックスレイドバトルなんですけれども、好きなポケモンを1匹選んで戦うことができます。で、今回はボックスからも1匹選べるので、そこから1匹選んでルカリをちょっと選んで戦ってみようと思います。
And each player participating in the battle can choose one Pokemon from either their party or from the box. So it's important to choose one of your stronger Pokemon since you before you go into the max raid battle.
でも今回1匹なんで途中で交換はできないのでこの1匹大切に戦ってください。
And you only get to choose one, and you can't change during the battle, so you've got to make sure it's a good choice.
So strategy and communication is incredibly key here.
ということはもうプレイヤー同士のコミュニケーションというのは非常に大切になってくるんですよね。
4人で戦うのでその役割分担と連携がすごい大事になってます。
So yeah, cooperation between the players and also really determining the roles is going to be very important to defeating the opponent.
例えば、タイプ相性の強い、良い技を持っているポケモンが中心となって攻撃してで戦況に合わせて補助技とか、回復技で味方をサポートするっていうのがすごい大事だと思います。
So yeah, once you get into the battle, identifying maybe which of the 4 Pokemon will have the best type advantage to be the main attacker, and also like who can be the best kind of supporter or the Pokemon that will use healing moves to support the team.
Yes, I'm playing as Togekiss, so for my first move, I've used Reflect to try to protect all of us a bit.
そうですね。僕はトゲキスを使ってるんですけれども、今リフレクターを出してちょっとチームを守ろうとしてます。
はい。
Thank you.
こうするとみんなが守備力が上がるんで、これによって攻撃が強かったとしても防げることができます。
That'll definitely help protect against some of these powerful attacks.
Jetzt bin ich gespannt. Er greift nur einen an?
So, I guess we should do roll call.
Das greift nur einen an?
So I'm actually just got hit, and as we can see here, Steelix is doing multiple attacks.
Ich dachte, das trifft jeden. Das sah halt auch so aus, als ob das jeden treffen würde, ne? Dann nur einen? Kann man bestimmt mit dem Pokéball spielen. Genau, das ist... Ist ja bestätigt, dass diese Pokémon Plus Unterstützung hat, ne? Die Pokéball Plus. Alles klar, Markus, ist gut, oder?
自分はトムでウィンディ使ってるけどちょっとでかくなっていいですか
So I'm actually the Tom character here playing Arcanine. Is it okay if I use Dynamax?
Absolutely.
I think we need all the help we can get.
Yes.
ぜひお願いします。
ダイマックスなんですけども、各ターン、プレイヤーは1回しか できないんですね。で、プレイヤー側が順番にダイマックス権利が回ってきます。で、バトル中にどのプレイヤーか、1人しか、1回しかダイマックスできないので、このダイマックスタイミングも非常に重要となっています。
The ability to use Dynamax
Ich hoffe, das Spiel kann man mit Pro-Controller spielen.
each turn, but your team can only use Dynamax once throughout the entire battle. So it's important to kind of identify what the exact right timing is to be able to, exploit its power.
Okay, wenn man das mit Randoms macht, dann macht das einfach irgendjemand.
Into these Dynamax raid battles.
Mit dem Dynamax Move.
そうですね。で、ダイマックス技を使うと、その効果によって、例えば今、炎の技を出したんで、日照りになりましたね。
Yeah, and you can see that there are, once you Dynamax, the Pokemon's moves will all turn into max moves.
Ich finde es immer noch so lächerlich mit dem Dynamaxing.
Effects, like you saw, the drought was just triggered based off Arcanine's attack.
Yeah, and they look really cool too.
見た目もすごいかっこいいですね。
迫力がすごいありますね。
Yeah, definitely. I think it's very impressive.
As we could see, Steelix just put up a barrier around him.
今ちょっとなんかバリアを張ったみたいな感じになってるんですけど。
今日照りになったのでソーラービームが一旦で出せましたね。でこれもまた連携のすごい。
Warte, wenn du dich jetzt noch weiter beschwerst, dann kannst du auch gerne einen dauerhaften Timeout kriegen.
不思議なバリアというものがダイマックスに貼られてまして、で今ヒットポイントがこう減ってくると、そういうバリアが登場します。
So yeah, with the barrier, what happens is once its HP is reduced, it'll put up this kind of barrier that you have to take down before it will actually start taking lots of damage again.
でこの今ゲージが5つあるんですけど、ダメージを与えるごとに1つのゲージが減ってきます。で、攻撃力が低いポケモンでも高いポケモンでも1ゲージずつ減っていくので、この時はもうどんなポケモンでも攻撃してこのバリアを壊していった方がいいですね。
But you can see that there's a couple of different parts to the gauge, and each time you hit it with a damaging attack, at least one of those will be reduced. So even if your Pokemon isn't particularly powerful in the attack department, it can still reduce the gauge by just using a damaging attack.
ダイマックス技だと2ゲージ減らすことができますね。
Well, yes, as you can see, my Togekiss used Dazzling Gleam, which is not particularly
effective,
but was still good enough to
ich weiß nicht. Mir gefällt das nicht mit dem Dynamaxing. Aber das Arcani müsste ja gleich wieder, also nach 3 Runden müsste das sich ja wieder klein machen, ne?
Participate and really contribute to the fight. And Dynamax moves, if you use it against it, it'll actually take down 2 gauges, two slots of the gauge.
ゲージを壊したんで、あとはもう本当に倒すだけですね。
So yeah, you guys have broken down the barrier, so now you just need to defeat the Pokemon.
We're very close, but one thing that we haven't talked about is that storm that's kind of lurking around.
Ich denke, man wird sich schon irgendwie dran gewöhnen. Also wir müssen uns ja dran gewöhnen, ne? So ist es.
あれはもうダイマックスしたポ
Jetzt
ケモンのエ
unnötig.
ネルギーがこう頭上でこう。
Man wollte halt irgendwas machen, irgendeine Superpower wieder einführen.
Phenomenon just kind of brewing above their head.
Ja, man hatte die Mega-Entwicklung, man hatte die Z-Attacken. Und jetzt werden die Pokémon einfach größer. Aber gut.
Follow you, make Togekiss the center of attention.
お、これで。
Trying to be the tank.
Oh, there it is. マサさん倒しましたね。
Nicely
お、倒し
done.
ましたね。
Der Pokéball ist nicht kompatibel?
We didn't have a single Pokemon faint. That was actually pretty good.
Ich habe mal gehört, dass der kompatibel ist. Okay.
So now all of us have a chance to
Den kann man
actually
benutzen.
catch this.
Ja, eben, das habe ich ja auch gehört.
So by catching it, can we add them to our party?
Pokémon, der Pokéball Plus sollte auch nutzbar sein. Doch.
あ、そうですね。なんでこのポケモンを倒すとゲットするチャンスが生まれます。で捕まえるとポケモンをそのまま手持ちすることができたり、結構実はいいアイテムも手に入ることも。
Neue Mega-Entwicklungen hätten vollkommen gereicht. Ja, finde ich halt auch, ne?
Participates in the battle are able to get a chance to catch it, but even if you don't catch the Pokemon, there's still a variety of rewards
irgendwelche anderen Formen von mir aus.
To get items and such that will help be beneficial.
Müssen ja keine Megaformen sein, sondern irgendwelche anderen Formen, wo der Typ sich ändert oder keine Ahnung.
So it's definitely something that I hope players will be excited to play along with their friends, but also other players from around the world.
Yes, my
Wir müssen uns
daughter
dran
has
gewöhnen.
really gotten into Pokemon with Pokemon Let's Go, so I'm very excited to be
Kritik
able
gab es
to
auch
do
für eine
raid battles with
Mega-Entwicklung und auch
her
bei der
in
Z-Attacke.
Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield.
Geben wir den Ganzen noch mal eine Chance. Gegen Mega-Entwicklung, das fand ich immer cool. Auch Z-Attacke sah zwar immer so ein bisschen komisch aus, aber fand ich eigentlich auch immer okay.
I think there was another topic that you wanted to touch on.
Aber okay, ja, vielleicht ist es tatsächlich nicht so schlecht.
はい、そうですね。
Aber ich finde es halt lame, wenn Pokémon einfach größer werden.
ポケモンホームはポケットモンスターシリーズとポケモン GO のポケモンたちを集めることが新しいサービスで、もちろんこのソードシールドとも連動します。
Yeah, there's one thing I'd like to
Nur
talk
für die
about.
Sounds
It's
ist der
about the
Pokéball, aber
Pokemon
nicht
Home
zum
service
Spielen.
that we recently announced. So it will connect with the
Okay.
Pokemon RPGs as well as Pokemon Go to allow players to really gather all of their Pokemon in a single location. And of course, it will also work
gut,
with the
andererseits-
Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield games.
ただし、
Mit dem Pokéball hat man ja nicht so viele Steuerungsmöglichkeiten wie mit einem richtigen
ご利用
Controller.
してい
Ne?
ただいているファンの皆さんにちゃんとお伝えしたいなと思っていることがあります。
But there is one important change from the previous Pokemon Bank service that I want to tell all of its users about.
これまでのポケットモンスターシリーズは例えばサンムーンではアローラ図鑑に含まれていないポケモンも、全種類をポケモンバンクから連れてくることができました。
So in previous games that worked with the Pokemon Bank service, you were able to, for example, in Sun and Moon,
Jetzt sagen Sie
bring
das.
over any Pokemon even if they weren't in the Alola Pokedex.
でハードが任天堂スイッチになって、ポケモン1匹ずつに対しての、表現自体も、非常に豊かになりました。
But with the transition to the Nintendo Switch hardware, with its, it being much more powerful, allowing us to be much more expressive with each of the individual Pokemon.
でもう一つポケモンはもう今では図鑑番号でいうとやっぱり800を超えてます。
And now we're well over 800 Pokemon species in the games.
でその中で1匹ずつ大切にクオリティを上げてバトルバランスも取って、限られた、開発期間の中で最新作をお届けするためにどうするかっていうのは、長い間議論を重ねてきました。
And at Game Freak, we really spent a lot of time thinking about what the best way to move forward was, really preserving the quality of all the different Pokemon, while also, taking into account the battle balance, having so many different Pokemon available, all within, a limited development time, so we don't keep fans waiting too long for every new entry in the series.
その結果、今作から対応方針を変えることにしました。
And after a lot of discussion, we decided to come to kind of a new direction.
つまりですね、ポケモンホームとソードシールドの間を行き来できるポケモンを
Genau, also man kann nur Pokémon übertragen, die es
ガラル
auch
図鑑に登場するポケ
in
モン
dem
に絞ること
Galadex
にしま
gibt.
した。
And so what that means for Pokemon Sword and Shield is that players will be able to transfer their Pokemon from Pokemon Home only if they appear in the Galar region Pokedex.
図鑑の、舞台に合わせて冒険のごめんなさい、冒険の舞台に合わせて、こだわって登場するポケモンを、決めています。
So we were very careful. We spent a lot of time really thinking what the best selection of Pokemon to match the setting of the adventure would be.
さらに詳しい話は今後の取材とかインタビューでちゃんと説明していきたいと思います。
So I'll talk more about the details in future opportunities such as media interviews, but I wanted to let you know today.
ただポケモンバンクをご利用してくださっているファンの皆さんには少しでも早くお伝えしたいなと思って本日お伝えさせていただきました。
And I know there are a lot of users of the Pokemon Bank service who are looking forward to Pokemon Home, so I wanted to let them know what the change would be well in advance.
But of course, as somebody who's been hunting for a lot of shiny Pokemon and Pokemon Let's Go, any of those Pokemon that do appear in Pokemon Sword and Shield, I'll still be able to transfer from Pokemon Let's Go into Pokemon Sword and Shield through Pokemon Home, correct?
レッツゴーピカチュウ、レッツゴーイーブイでたくさん色違いのポケモンを探して捕まえているんですけ
Alles klar, bei
ど
den
も、それらのポケモンがガラル
ganzen
図鑑に登場するのであれば、
über 800 Pokémon ist schwierig, das
検討
alles
するっていうのができ
そう
るんですす
でね
ね。。
ホームを、
in ein Spiel zu
経由
programmieren.
して連れてくることができます。
That's right, yeah, as long as they're in the Galar region Pokedex, you can transfer them from home.
That's great. Well,
そうですね。もちろんですね、今作のソードシールドガラル地方でもまだ見ぬ新ポケモンを含めてかなりのポケモンが出てきますし、ポケモンのボリューム、ゲームのボリュームとしてもかなりの、満足いただけるようになっています。
Yeah, in the Galar region, you're going to find a lot of Pokemon, including a bunch of Pokemon that no one has discovered yet. So the games are definitely chock full of content.
ガラル図鑑を完成させるのも非常に大変だと思うんですけども、皆さん頑張って集めてほしいなと思います。
And it will be no small feat to complete the Galar region
Dynamo
Pokedex, but I do
thing.
hope that players will give their best
Ja.
to try and catch them all in the region.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to see how the story unfolds and to explore both the region and the wild area. But is there anything else that you want to add before we say goodbye and move on?
僕も非常に今回のゲームのストーリーとかワイルドエリアでの探索っていうのを楽しみにしてるんですけれども、ちょっと最後にお二人から視聴者に向けての何かお言葉ありますでしょうか。
そうですね、先ほどマックスレードバトルを4人でやりましたけども、やっぱりやっていてなんか楽しいんですよね。ちょっとなんですかね、今までのポケモンの中ではなかった新しいシステムになってますんで、やっぱりこう4人でワイワイ楽しく友達と一緒に遊べるっていう仕組みはすごい皆さんにぜひ体験してもらいたいなと思ってます。
Yeah, for me, it definitely is the max raid battles we just showed off. Playing together with your friends and this kind of cooperative battle feature that we've never had in the Pokemon series before is really just a lot of fun. And I hope fans of the series will look forward to being able to try that for the first time.
そうですね、ワイルドエリアでいろんなプレイヤーと一緒にこう冒険したりするのってすごいやっぱり楽しくてですね、ローカル通信で友達と一緒に遊んだり、インターネット通信を使って世界中のプレイヤーと出会って、そこで対戦や交換を楽しんでもらえたらなと思います。
And even other than the max raid battles, we of course have all the traditional, multiplayer features. You can trade and battle with other players, either nearby with the local wireless or to connect with other trainers from around the world using the connecting via the internet.
Great. Well, thank you very much for joining us today.
Wurden denn die zwei
Thank you all
Pokémon
for
geleakt?
watching.
In dem Treehouse
What we're going
oder
to do is, as we get
auf
ready
Twitter
for our
oder
next
wo?
segment here on Nintendo Treehouse Live, we are going to go down to our Luigi's Mansion booth and give you all a sneak peek at what people are going to experience here on the show floor. It's a very, very special booth.
Okay, Luigi's
so take a
Mansion
quick
habe
look
ich
at that,
gestern,
and then
glaube
we
ich, schon
come back in
gesehen.
just a few
Ah,
minutes
oh, Animal
for our
Crossing.
very next
Oh,
segment, which
Animal
I think
Crossing
a lot of
jetzt.
people will be looking forward to very much.
Genau. Ich
Thank
glaube,
you very
irgendwann am
much.
Ende kam dann. Oh, Links der Regeln kam gestern auch. Okay.
Hey guys, I'm Morgan here with Audrey, and we are.
We're in a haunted hotel.
Yeah.
Everyone stay calm.
Bill said,
Aber
Luigi's
Animal
Mansion
Crossing
booth,
jetzt.
but this is not. I mean, we're in the booth, but this is like a fully built out haunted mansion, which is sort of where the game Luigi's Mansion.
One of the reasons.
But we also have Kyogoku-san and Nogami-san from the development team to give us some development insight. Thank you so much for being
Ja,
here.
Pokémon
And
wird auf jeden
Noriko
Fall
also
cool.
will be translating.
So just to kick us off here, I think fans of the
Das
Animal Crossing
Dynamaxing.
series who
Ja,
watched
mei.
the Direct right off the bat noticed that this time you're sending them to a deserted island, which is quite different from the games that we've
Twitter-Post
previously had
von
in the
Domi.
Animal Crossing series.
Warum habe ich den
Can
nicht
you tell us a
gesehen?
little bit about why you chose a deserted island as the setting this time?
Wirklich mal.
そうですね、今回無人島という舞台にしようと思ったのは大きくは2つあります。一つは今まで動物の森シリーズっていうのはどこかの村に引っ越していって一人暮らしをしてその村の中で暮らしを楽しむっていう遊びだったんですけど、今回スイッチで新しい動物の森を体験していただくにあたって、
Okay,
何か
dieser
そ
Hund
の
und
流れで全く新しい
dieser
体験
kleine
ができ
Teufel.
ないかと思いま
Soll
し
ich
た。
den mal?
So one of the
Okay.
reasons that we thought about having the player live on a deserted island, there's actually two main reasons. And one of the reasons
Yeah.
being that previously in the legacy titles, we had the player come to a pre-existing village and then have them start a life there and from scratch. But
Und willkommen an alle,
we
die da
thought,
sind. Ja,
maybe we can
willkommen.
give the players a new experience.
もう一つは、そうやって無人島という何もないところを一から
dass die kein
作り上
Plüsch in der
げ
Hand
ていく
haben.
というところで今までだったらもう最初から村として存在していたために選択肢としてなかったその
Ja, ich
新
hab
し
die
い選
Pokémon
択
gerade
の
gesehen.
自由っていうところでも新しい体験をしていただけるんじゃないかと思いました。
And
Sind
then
eher
another
kleine
thing that
Pokémon,
we
ne?
thought was by giving the players a choice, a freedom to build something
Teufel
there,
ist so hässlich.
something that may that they
Ach.
may have not been able to
Das ist
in
eigentlich in
previous,
Ordnung.
titles, that we were able to give them that opportunity to build everything from scratch. We thought that would be a great experience.
Awesome, and I know folks have been waiting a long time to get a chance to look at this title, so why don't we hop right into the game and give folks a look.
じゃあちょっと今日は見ていただきたいと思います。
So I'm going to start off.
So I think one of the things that to continue on what Kyogoku-san was talking about expanding the freedom, Animal Crossing has always been a series about freedom. You could choose to spend your time however you want, fishing, collecting bugs, pulling weeds, but I think we're going to see here is how much that has been expanded.
And I love everything about their outfits. They're ready for island life. Tom Nook and Timmy and Tommy look so ready to go.
And they're talking about E3. The line between the real life and Animal Crossing life is blurring even further.
They know we're watching.
今回たぬきちたちはたぬき開発という新しい事業をしていまして、でその無人島パッケージプランに参加している形になります。でママ吉つぶ吉もそのたぬきちを手伝って一緒に働いています。
So Tom Nook and Co. This time around, they have a development company called Nook Inc. And then the player is set to be relocating to the island through Nook Inc.'s
Warum trägt Knock Knock als einziger eine Hose?
And then Timmy and Tommy also have a.
Die anderen sind halt. Brauchen halt keine Hose, ne?
I like it. Even when they're in a beautiful tropical setting, they're thinking about the business.
Alles klar, Kirito. Bis dann.
Before we kick off exploring too much, can we
Brauchen
talk
doch alle
about
keine
what
Hose,
we're seeing
Mann.
right here?
はい、これ最初この島を
Jetzt weiß ich, warum
移住して
Animal Crossing so beliebt
まだ
ist.
テントを張って、ここをベースに暮らしを始めたばかりの状態になります。ちょっと
Ich bin echt gespannt, ob mich das fesseln kann, das Spiel.
Your island life starts. This is the tent that you'll get, and then we decided to pitch it on the beach.
このようにちょっとまだ始めたばかりなので、讃吉に最初に支給してもらった簡単な家具しかない状態です。
So this is how it looks inside the tent, and then we only have bare minimums that Tom Nook gave us at the moment.
I think that's key. He really did only provide you with the bare minimum.
Man kann ein Haus am Strand haben.
ちなみに今回このようにハッピーホームデザイナーでもそうだったんですけど、
Also das Animal Crossing ist halt komplett neu für mich,
今ま
ne?
での半分の単位で動かせ
Ich
るようにな
bin
っています。
echt gespannt.
And this time around, just like Happy Home Designer was, you're able to move the furniture in half units around the buildings.
で今までより自由な部屋作りを楽しんでいただけると思います。
And then so I think this will allow you to have more versatility in home decoration.
Warum musste die das schieben, bevor sie das
And worth
einstecken
mentioning here,
konnte?
so we're not at the very beginning of the game. It's early, but when you start, there's not even the tent.
Oh Gott,
there.
das wird lustig.
ちなみに家具なんですけど、動画で見ていただいた方お気づきだとは思うんですけど、今回このように全ての家具をフィールドに置くこともできます。
And as for the furniture, I think many of you have noticed in the video, but you can also place them outside on the field.
でフィールドで草原もなんですけど、テントも含めてそのビーチ、今ニューリーフの時は浜辺には公共事業をしたり家を建てたりできなかったんですけど、今回浜辺も使ってより自由にカスタムができるようになっています。
And then not just the furniture, but also the tent itself. You're able to place them on the beach. This was something that you couldn't do in New Leaf, but we're able to do that.
Das ist der Sinn
今
des
回
Spiels.
動画でお見せしたDIY の要素と、
Eine Stadt aufbauen
今
oder
お
so.
見せしたそのフィールドに家具を置けるという要素ですね。この2つをメインにご紹介して、今このフィールドまだ無人島で何もないんですけど、ちょっとした家具を作っておいて、で今回ツリーハウスライブの記念に写真撮影をするということをやってみたいと思います。
So there are two main elements
Aber wir werden
that
es
I
auf
want to
jeden Fall
show
gemeinsam
you.
streamen.
One, both of them are something that you saw in the video. One of them
Wir können mir ja dann
is
helfen.
DIY recipes, and then the other one is
Von einer Insel
being
zur
able
Stadt, ja.
to put furniture outside. So since we're here at
Wir bauen eine
E3 at
Insel
Treehouse
diesmal.
Live, I think I want to make that as a goal and then start doing that right now.
Man baut sein eigenes Dorf,
今
Freundschaft
こ
machen
れは
und das
田口
verschönern.
から最初に
Ah, das
支
ist
給
doch
され
schön.
たスマホなん
Dann
ですけ
kann man auch andere
ど、
Dörfer
その中
besuchen,
に
ne?
DIY の自分が作れるレシピのアプリがあります。この中から作るものをちょっと決めたいと思います。
So this is a smartphone called Nook Phone that I got from Tom Nook. And then there's a DIY recipes app. So I'm going to browse around and look for something that I want to make.
で DIY
Sein Leben
は
leben.
道具
Im
ですと
Spiel.
か家具ですとか、島で取れるいろんな
Suche
材
dich auf
料を
deiner
使
Insel
っ
und
て
gebe dir geistige
いろん
Unterstützung.
なバリエーションのものが
Alles klar?
を作ることができます。
And then these DIY recipes
können alle
include
machen.
everything from tools to furnitures. And you can use a lot of the materials that you can find around
Ich
the
glaube, das muss
island.
man sogar machen,
ちなみ
um
に雑草と
Oder?
か今
Ich
無
kann mir
人島
vorstellen,
で
dass es dann
草だら
irgendwelche
けなんですけど、雑草を使
Gegenstände
っ
gibt oder
た
so.
DIY なんかもあります。
So since we came to a deserted island, there's a lot
Ah,
of
Gina,
weeds
ich denke,
growing
man kann
around on
auch
the
Freunde
island, but
besuchen.
those things can also become a material to create something.
じゃあ 今ベンチを飾って座れるようにしたいなと思うんで、このログベンチを作ろうと思うんですけど、木材を取る必要があるので、まずは木材を取るためのこの斧を作っていきたいと思います。
So I want to make this log bench, but in order to make the log bench, I need some hard wood. So I am going to first make this axe.
So I wonder if, as we're looking around here, can we just take a look at the up in the sky, because it really is a beautiful day.
そういえば動物の森ってファンの皆さんご存知だと思うんですけど、現実の時間に連動していて、その時間や季節に応じてその風景が移り変わっていきます。
So I think a lot of the Animal Crossing fans already know this, but the game clock is actually linked to the real time. So the seasons and the time of the day, it changes according to
Oh, man kann die Zeit aber manipulieren.
今まで北半球の季節にしか対応していなかったんですけども、今回南半球の季節も選択できるようになりました。
And until the previous titles, we only had the game set in northern hemisphere, but from New Horizons, we have a southern hemisphere as well, so the users can play in the southern hemisphere atmosphere as well.
これ北半球の6月なんで夏の風景なんですけど、南半球で6月に設定する。
Mischung aus dem normalen Animal Crossing und dem
So right
Handyspiel.
now, since it is June and it's set to June in northern hemisphere, but if you have it set to southern hemisphere, then it'll be in winter.
It's really cool, I think, being able to give players that flexibility. So if you live in the southern hemisphere and you want the seasons and things, the weather to kind of match more like what you're experiencing in real life, you can have that choice. And we got lucky here, I think, that the weather is so good for the stream, because you never know what's going to happen in Animal Crossing weather-wise, but this looks gorgeous.
斧の材料が揃ったんで、では次 DIY をしてみたいと思います。ただ私は作業台を今持ってないので、作業台を貸してもらえる場所にご案内します。
So now that I have all the materials for Flimsy Axe, I'm gonna go somewhere where they're gonna let me do this for free.
これたぬきちたちの案内所になっています。住民の生活をサポートしてくれるすごく便利な場所になっています。
So this is the resident service area by Nook Inc. And then they support all the residents on the island with their lives.
I love how proud they are of your accomplishment. I feel like Tom Nook's always proud of you.
ちなみに他にも、この案内所には豆吉だったら何かいらないものを買い取ってくれたりですとか。
So other functions of the resident service, Timmy would buy something that you don't need in the inventory.
Oh, man kann Gras verkaufen und kaufen.
買い取ってもらえるので、草をそのままワイルドなフィールドを楽しみたい方はそのままにしていただいてもいいですし、もう綺麗にしたい方は草をむしってここで買い取ってもらうといいと思います。
So we mentioned weeds on the island earlier, but if you want to clean it up, then you can clean them up and then sell it to Timmy, or you can choose to leave them as well, because why not, right?
I kind of like
Jetzt weiß ich, in welche Richtung das Spiel geht, Leute.
Deserted island, having it look a little wild is kind of cool.
In contrast, I picked every weed on my island.
でもちろんちょっとした買い物もすることができます。で道具もこのように売ってたりもするんですけど、お金が余っていたり、もちろん買って済ませてもいいですし、自分で拾って材料を作ってもどちらでも自由に楽しんでいただければと思います。
So as you can see, you can do a little shopping here too, and then you have the option to buy the tools, purchase the tools here as well. But you can basically you'll have that freedom of whether you
Verstehe immer mehr, warum das Game so viele Fans hat.
or
Ja.
if you want to collect the materials on the island and then make it yourself.
Verstehe es.
でちなみにこのたぬきちのこの案内所でもう一つ特徴的な新しい機能があります。でそれがこのヌークマイレージになります。
So one of the new functions here is Nook mileage, Nook miles.
でこのヌークマイルというのは、実際のマイルのように例えば今回お出かけ飛行機に乗ってお出かけするんですけど、その飛行機に乗ったりですか、そのショッピングをしたりとか、今この斧を実際作ってこのように DIY ツールを作ったことに応じてとか、島で過ごしていろんな体験に対してマイルをもらうことができます。
So Nook Mile kind of works like the actual airline mileage programs. So when we moved out here on the airplane, you got miles for that. And then a lot of the activities that you do on the island, you also accumulate miles for that. We just made the flimsy axe, so we got miles credit for that as well. And then so there's so many ways to acquire these miles and then also use them as well.
ちなみに日本語ではたぬきマイレージですね。
It's called tanuki mileage in Japanese.
でこのマイレージを貯めるとなんかいろんなサービスとかまたオリジナルアイテムと交換できるので、マイレージによってまた新しい楽しみと遊びが広がるようになっています。
And then these miles, you'll be able to exchange them for items and other activities. So it's a new way of enjoying the game.
It is really nice that it feels like you can progress doing any kind of activity that you enjoy in Animal Crossing. On top of it just being a fun way for you to relax, you're making progress in the game. You're having a chance to earn some of those rewards.
And you can earn those rewards for doing things that you didn't always earn rewards for before, like even just picking weeds. Sure, it made your area more beautiful, but it didn't really give you anything else. But now you can earn miles for that and use them for something.
じゃあ斧も手に入ったことなんで木材を集めていきたいと
Das
思
ist
い
schön
ます。
detailreich, ne?
Since I now have the flimsy axe, I think I'm going to start collecting hardwood.
And here we can see just the variety. Collecting things has always been a part of Animal Crossing, but there's so many different
Aber
types of collectible crafting materials now. Even looking at the wood that you're chopping there, every time you
Kann man
pick
die
something
Bäume
up,
nicht
you're gonna
komplett
wonder, what am I
fällen?
going to do with this? What am I going to make with this next?
こうやって斧を使って木から木材を切り出すことができるんですけども、ちょっと
Okay, man kann sie so halb kaputt machen, aber
今回時
anscheinend
間
nicht
も
ganz.
限られている中で木材
Das
集
ist ja
める
wirklich
の
dann,
が大変
das ist ja
な
dann
ので、
wirklich
今
nicht
から野上さん
umweltfreundlich,
に
ey.
手伝ってもらおうと思います。
So as you can see, I can use
Den
this
vierten
flimsy
Schlag.
axe to collect hardwood, but since we have a limited
Wenn man
amount
das,
of
wenn man es so
time
dreimal
today
macht, dann lässt man
and
den
there's a
Baum halb
lot
tot
of
da liegen,
hardwood
oder
to
was?
collect, I think I'm going to recruit Mr. Nogami here and have him help me
Das ist
out.
ja brutal, das Spiel,
どのよう
ey.
にするかと言いますと、この今コールアイランダーというアプリを使うと同じ島に住んでる住人同士で一緒にプレイすることができるようになります。
So this is how I'm going to do this. On the Nook phone, there's an application called Call an Islander. And then when you call an island, you'll be able to call another resident on the island.
Man kann die Bäume
and then play
ausgraben, okay.
together.
So since Nogami-san has a house on this island as well,
Nee,
you can come,
okay, ab dem
help
vierten
out.
Schlag kann man die
I
fällen.
love your outfit. That's awesome.
Vio kennt sich da aus.
Looks very appropriate for
は
a
い、僕
squid
なんでこんな
researcher.
格好してるんでしょう。
Wie heißt
I don't
der?
know why I'm wearing this
Hiro-
outfit, but
Schild?
all right.
It's a good look.
このようにそのジョイコンを
これハ
素
ヨシ
分けして同じ住民同士で遊べるっていうのが実は動物の森シリーズでは初めての体験になります
Yoshi.
So actually, to be able to play with your friend or family by sharing Joy-Con controllers is something that's very new to the Animal Crossing
Neue Anziehsachen.
franchise.
でこうやって一緒にやることでこう木材集めなどもはかどるので
In 3DS-Version war das so.
今までだったらこう一
Mit dem
人ずつ
Viermal-Schlagen.
別々に遊んで、
Okay.
見ているしかできなかった
Ah, die hat jetzt auch immer nur dreimal
楽しんでいただ
draufgehauen
くこと
vorher.
もできるんですけど、今回こうやって同時に遊んでいただくことができ
Die
ま
haut
す。
nicht viermal drauf.
So in the previous titles, I mean, of course, you were able to watch each other play and then have fun that way. But with New Horizons, you're able to play together and then cooperate in sense. And then so it's basically a whole new way of playing together.
And just as you're collecting this material here, looking at the wind blowing through the trees, the graphics, it's really just beautiful to watch. But I'm also really drawn to the sound effects here. Nogami-san, can you talk to us a little bit about the sound design for this game?
そうですね。今回のニューホライズンズではよりこうユーザーお客さんにこの没入体験を楽しんでいただくためにいろいろな工夫をしています。
So there's a lot of things that we've experimented and then we've tried out for the users to have that immersive feeling when they're playing this game.
でそのために
Axt
コー
kann
ルサウン
kaputt
ドという
gehen.
手法を取り入れていまして、例えば砂の上を実際に歩いたり、あるいはちょっとスタジオの近くの草を買ってきて踏みつけたりして足音の音を録音してよりナチュラルな音を再現しています。
And in order to achieve that from the sound perspective, we adapted this technique called Foley recording. And then what it essentially
Dem
does
Schlag
is record a
war eine
natural
tiefe
sound
Rinne.
and then
Jeder
use
Schlag
it
war
as a
tiefer.
sound effect in the
Hier ist es
game.
anscheinend nicht so, okay.
We sometimes walked
Alles
on
klar.
sand to get that sound, or cut some grass from around the office
Das wird
and then
lustig.
walked on it to get that sound.
あと今木や 草がちょっと揺れてるのが見えると思うんですけど、この風を表現していまして、風が強くなると木が揺れたりっていう風に、そのなんていうか現実の空気もちょっと再現しようとしています。
And then another thing that you probably noticed is that the leaves on the trees are kind of moving.
Yeah.
And then this is actually expressing the wind on the island. So depending on how strong the wind is blowing, some of them sway a little bit harder.
And the sound of the wind is really beautiful too. It's
Right.
it's very relaxing and immersive.
じゃあベンチがそう言ってる間に出来上がったんですけど、ちょっとまだこれ1個だけでは寂しいので、もう1個何か作ってみたいと思います。
So now I have a bench, but just having a single furniture is a little bit sad. So I think I'm going to make something else too.
何か野上さん。
そうですね。僕がキャンプファイヤーを持っているので、それのちょっと大きい版のボンファイヤーを作ってみましょうか。
So since I already have a campfire, why don't we make a bonfire?
Man kann Items draußen platzieren.
Looks a little bit bigger and more fun.
ボンフ
Okay.
ァイヤーは、キャンプファイヤーと木材を使って作ることができます。で、このように何か DIY で作った家具を使ってさらに作るというような DIY もあります。
So bonfire, you'll be able to make that with some wood and a campfire, which is an item. There are items where you will need another item to create. So there's a lot of variety in these recipes.
じゃあちょっと野上さんに交代します。
So I'm going to change the leader to Mr. Nogami.
このように今誰がリーダーでその誰に付き添ってプレイしているかっていうのが分かるようになっています。
As you can see, there's a little flag on top of Mr. Nogami's head, and then that shows that he's the leader, and then you'll be able to tell who'll be leading that gameplay.
Nogami-san, are you walking around with a squid?
はい。
Yeah.
なぜかイカを持ってますね。なんでこんなもん持ってるんでしょう。
I don't know why I have a squid, but I always have it in my pocket.
ちょっと僕これキャンプファイヤーを持ってますので、はい、これをとこれとこれを拾って、はい、10個あるんで、じゃあこれで。
Okay, so since I already have a campfire, I'm gonna pick up the wood and then I'm gonna go craft a bonfire on the workbench.
So it's one of the things that's really wonderful here for the first time in the Animal Crossing series, being able to play side by side at the same time with other folks who live on your island. This idea that you can have your different inventories, swap back and forth who's in charge, and then take advantage of that. You can actually have up to 8 players living on a single island, and 4 of them can play together this way just by sharing Joy-Con on a single system. So if you've got someone in your family, their thing is, I just really like collecting this material or that material, you can kind of share the load a little bit as you work on your island and then come play together. You're all enjoying the experience at the same time, and you're taking turns and trading and making these much bigger crafting projects.
Fahne bedeutet, dass der Screen demjenigen folgt.
On your island, there's also local
dass der Fokus auf dem ist.
Online multiplayer that we're going to
Sieht
be
so
able
aus,
to talk
ja.
about hopefully more later on. But with that, it can be 8 people all gathering on a single player's island to have the same kind of fun activity side by side.
Yeah, the trailer in the Nintendo Direct.
Kann sich zu 8 auf einer Insel treffen.
Very end
Okay.
with all the different players there. That
Glaube
was
ich.
actually made
Alles klar.
using that feature.
Glauben ist nicht wissen.
じゃあちょっとボンファイヤーできましたんで、
ich kann mir das gut vorstellen.
写真を撮るのにいいロケーションを探しに行き
Blue
ます。
Crew
そうで
Inseltreff.
すね。
Oh ja.
私最初のこのテントの周りを豪華にしたいんで、じゃあこ
Das wird
こに
lustig.
ぜひ置いてくだ
じ
さい。
ゃあさっき作ったボンファイヤーを置きます。
So since
また間違えた。
今までのようにこのドロップアイテムとプレイスアイテムっていうのは、葉っぱの状態で置くこともできるし、こうやって飾ることもできます。
So since we now have a bonfire, we hunted a location. Miss Kyogoku hunted a location, and then decided that around the tent would probably be the best place.
Jetzt müsste die
And then
Kamera
so
auf
they're gonna
dem
decorate this
Mädel
area.
fokussiert sein.
And then Miss Kyogoku also mentioned that there's a place an item and drop an item option, and then the players would be able to choose whether they want to place the furniture, like decorate the furniture, or just place the leaf.
And it's really incredible. It opens up your entire island, really, the same way you decorated your house. You're going to be able to put stuff in so many interesting places and really make your island feel like your own.
じゃあこんな感じで場所も整ったので写真を撮ってみたい
Kann
と
man
思い
sich ja auch
ま
umarmen
す。
hier.
Okay, since we have the location and we have everything set up, I think I'm going
Glaube
to take
nicht.
a photo.
カメラはもちろんスイッチの本体機能で撮っていただくこともできるんですけど、そこスマホにもカメラのアプリがあります。
Der Fahne kannst du
So of course
Items
you'll be
droppen.
able to
Okay.
use the switch function, the switch camera to take a photo, but we also have a camera app on the Nook phone.
このカメラを使っていただくことで、ズーム機能だったり、こういうフィルター機能っていうのもあって、なんかより自由な撮影を楽しんでいただけます。
And by using this camera app, you're able to select filters or zoom in and out, and then so you'll be able to take
das haben sie nicht eingebaut.
photos that you
Mit so einem Armen und so.
that you can decorate a little bit more and have more freedom with.
It's a nice way to commemorate a big project,
Gefällt's
or
dir?
we've got a bunch of friends hanging out with you. Take a
Ich
look
weiß noch
at the-
nicht.
じゃあこのちょっとポーズも決めて写真を撮ってみたい
Ich
と
bin
思い
immer
ま
noch
す。
gespannt drauf.
Okay, I think I'm gonna strike a pose and then take this photo.
And something that folks maybe if they're very sharp-eyed are noticing, there's a little sort of spout that's coming out of the sand not too far
Yeah.
from you. We can't really show this too much yet, but there's actually clams living on the beach, and if you dig those up, you can craft fishing bait using clams. So worthwhile keeping that in mind if you're really into fishing. That's going to be a lot of fun for folks who want to catch some really cool fish too.
今この辺りにいましたよね。
Oh,
僕ら
I think I saw some spout coming out here.
Oh, nice! Got it!
ね、このようにDIY レシピっていうのは例えば動物から教えてもらったりとか何かこのアイテムを手に入れたことがきっかけでひらめいたりとか、買ったりとか、いろんな手段で DIY レシピは増えていきます。
Sieht ja mal geil
So
aus,
DIY
Pokémon.
recipes, you'll be acquiring them through
Wenn du zurückgespult
other
hast, dann
animals, or when you acquire a new item.
macht es jetzt
that's
keinen Sinn,
something that,
dich darauf zu beziehen im Chat.
that you'll also be able to acquire, or you'll also be able to buy them at stores as well.
I think it's interesting how that's really going to mix up players' experiences, depending on how you and maybe a friend of yours have been experiencing life on your island and what activities you've been doing. You might have quite a different collection of recipes at your disposal. So then when you have a chance to get together and play together, it might be, oh, by the way, what have you been making? What did I find? This is how I got this recipe. But it's a nice way to kind of share that knowledge and information as you play.
そうですね。今日お店初めてアニマルクロッシングニューホライゾンお見せしましたけども、なんかだいぶできてるんじゃないかっていうふうに見えると思うんですけど、実は我々開発スタッフにはまだまだこれからやらなければいけないことがあります。
So as you can see, we've shown you some of the gameplay of New Horizons, and then you may think that a lot of this is close to being done, and yet there's a lot of elements that we still want to work on.
2020年3月20日の発売日に向けて我々スタッフ一同頑張ってますので、もう少しだけお時間をください。
So I'm sorry to ask, but if you would let us work a little bit longer and release this game on March 20th, 2020, we would very much appreciate it.
Well, I can certainly say, based on the experiences I've had having a great time with this game in the office, it's very much worth the wait. So I know, folks, if you're fans of the game, it's hard to be patient, but it's coming together so beautifully. I think the hardest thing for me right now is working on the game. I'm just ready to get my island, but it'll be soon. And Kyogo-san, do you have any final thoughts that you'd like to share with our viewers as well as we wrap up?
はい、今回この新しい無人島っていう舞台で長くこの動物の森を楽しんでいただけるようにともう少しお時間いただくんですけども、楽しんでいただけるのを作るに引き続き開発頑張っていきますので、もう少しお待ちいただければと思います。
So we'll be asking you for a little bit more time in order for us to have you enjoy this desert life on an island for a very, very long time. So we're all working hard to release this game. So thank you very much for your understanding.
Yeah, but in the meantime, if you wanted to hang out with some of your Animal Crossing friends, you could check out Animal Crossing Pocket Camp on smart devices. It's free to download, and there's a lot of stuff that's been added to that game since we released it. So please check that out. But that's all the time we have for today for Animal Crossing New Horizons. Thank you so much, Sam, Kyogoku-san, Nogomi-san,
Ich bin echt gespannt drauf, wie das
coming up
sein wird.
next on Nintendo Treehouse Live, we got The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Stay tuned.
Planet Place, willkommen. Und Link's Awakening, das gucken wir uns auch an. Achso, nee.
version of one of my favorite. Dan Osen. I'm here with Audrey, Sam, Yoriko, and Mr. Aonuma.
Gute Nacht, Jonas.
We are going to take a look at some live gameplay of
Ethan schmiedet
the
Pläne.
Nintendo Switch version of one of my favorite Legend of Zelda games.
Da gibt es auch andere Möglichkeiten, denjenigen bei sich zu
Sam,
behalten.
please go ahead and kick us off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or-
This is a fine choice for favorite game, Dan. As you can see right off the bat, this is a beautifully reimagined version of Koholint Island.
Oh, da ist ja der
looks
Mario.
Like a clay diorama come to life, honestly.
Oder war das Mario?
It's a beautiful. Sorry, I had to break the pot.
Oder war es
It's
noch
over now.
He's just chowing down on those
Just
bananas.
had to. I know. But I love this beautiful tilt shift visual effect we've got going.
Oh,
There's
it's
kind
gorgeous.
of an ethereal haze off on the corners of the screen. So it's just a really lovely reimagining of this classic game. And since we're lucky enough to have Aonuma-san here, I was hoping perhaps you could tell us a little bit about the creation of this art style and why it was chosen to reimagine Koholint Island.
Ich finde es cool, dass sie die ganzen Easter Eggs behalten haben. Mit dem Kettenhund zum Beispiel.
このゲームのオリジナルは
Das finde ich schön.
実は私がまだゼルダを作る前のねゲームなので、私はこのゲームは本当に一ユーザーとして純粋に楽しんだんですよ。
And so, actually, this game, I wasn't actually involved in the creating it. I was just a player playing this game.
で、その時その当時ね、ゲームボーイで遊んでるわけですけど、
Bin schon auf die Dieb-Animation
ゲームボーイ
gespannt.
の小さな
Stimmt, die müsste es ja
画
auch
面
geben.
からその下にこう広い世界が広がってるみたいな、そんなイメージでずっと遊んでたんですけど、その感覚を生かす形でチルトシフトって言ってね、画面の上と下にこうちょっとボケが発生してますけど、ちょうどそのミニチュアのジオラマの世界を
Was
覗いてる
passiert, wenn
み
man
た
die
いな、
ganzen Hühner
そん
schlägt?
な感じのイメージにな
Die
るように
Animation interessiert mich auch.
グラフィックを考えてみました。
And so when I played it on the original Game Boy version, it was on this small screen, and it felt like a small world, but very vast as well. And so it was kind of had this tilt shift perspective, and so that's why I thought this miniature diorama
Das war eine
like art style would
Dieb-Animation.
be perfect for this.
Man konnte hier in dem Spiel
game.
im Original was klauen.
It really
Und dann
is the
wurde man
perfect way to
getötet,
bring this world to
wenn man das
life.
gemacht hat.
And, I
no.
didn't mean it. I'm
Oh,
sorry, I didn't mean
arme
that.
Fuchs
I only mean to
geschlagen.
hit Kukos. So,
Don't do that either.
Oh, I disagree. We hard disagree on
Das
that
kann
point.
jeder nicht. Ich wünsche dir auch eine gute Nacht.
So I'm going into the Chindy
Und
game shop
Yoshi.
here, and even fans who played the original game are going to notice a
Oh.
little bit of a difference here because there are actual, real
Yoshi.
game physics going on
will
here.
Yoshi haben.
So I'm going to try my best to get this Yoshi figure.
Ja.
But it's pretty difficult with the crane.
Yeah, the crane physics make this a lot more fun, I think.
And speaking of Yoshi,
It's looking good.
oh, I might.
Ja.
Am I going to
It's
pull it
looking
off?
pretty good. Oh, no.
Oh,
Oh.
I slipped out.
so close.
Und den Yoshi, den holt sie sich jetzt.
I know, but speaking of Yoshi, that's not a face that you usually see in Zelda games. So since we have Dan here who worked on the original localization of the game, perhaps you could just really quickly, I want to ask Dan what it was
Oh,
like
the
to see a
Nase.
Mario face in a Zelda game for the first time.
Well,
I'm
I
a
was
Nase.
surprised as anyone. I think the team was trying to create sort of a otherworldly atmosphere and bringing in some things that would make people kind of wonder, what's going on here. And
Yeah.
I think that adds to the mystery of the story and is really like a great feature of this game. And I think really makes it feel like
Man
a
muss
different
halt
world.
eigentlich da
Absolutely, it really does. And
Da den
like
Kran
you
haben,
said,
wo das
this
Licht
a
ist, ne?
true-
Da muss
I'm
man
gonna
den
try and
runter
get that
tun.
heart one more time. I won't make people watch me fail over
You
and
got
over
plenty
again.
of rupees.
I do.
Just keep going.
But this really is a truly
Macht das irgendwie
classic Zelda game
falsch, oder?
brought to life. So I was hoping Aonuma-san could tell us
Macht das immer
what it
falsch?
was like returning to a more
Weil
traditional
das Licht
Zelda
ist ja
game
nicht-
after working on The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Ah,
So
würde ich am liebsten selbst
ブレスオブザワイルドが
spielen.
完成した今、またこういった伝統的なゼルダに戻ることについてお話しいただけますでしょうか。
まあこのゲームも26年前に作られたゲームなんで、もう今やなかなかそれは遊べる機会も減ってきてたんで、いつかはリメイクしたいなっていうふうには思ってたんですよ。
And so the original Game Boy version was released 26
Aber
years
jetzt hat
ago,
sie's.
so it's a little bit hard to get your hands on the original
Kevin,
game.
hi.
So I've always wanted to remake this title.
Willkommen im Stream.
And we're so very glad that he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked to a guy
で
down.
じゃあなぜ今なのか
Bist
ということなんですけど、
Ein
やっぱり
bisschen.
そのゼルダの今までの伝統的な遊びをこう変化させて生まれ変わったブレスオブザワイルドを多くの人に遊んでもらって今だからこそこういうねまた伝統的なゼルダのゲームも 新鮮に楽しんでもらえるんじゃないかなと思って今リメイクすることにしたんです。
And so, why now, you might ask? It's just because we thought, well, Breath of the Wild broke the convention of Zelda. And now, because a lot of people have played Breath of the Wild, they could go back to something, a more traditional Zelda, like Link's Awakening. And we hope that this gameplay will be fresh for people.
It absolutely feels brand new. I've played Link's Awakening probably a million times, but this feels like a brand new game. It's absolutely delightful. And so, now that I somehow managed to get that Yoshi doll out of that crane game, I'm going to chop all the grass in the world. No, I'm not really. This Yoshi doll is actually a part of a pretty vast trading quest in this game. So I'm going to go into this house, which I love looking around. There's so many little details in this house. There's like chopped up piece of fruit on that cutting board, all those little beds in a row.
I love how they're all bunched up together. I suppose if you want to get into the one at the
direkt
very
erstmal die
end, you
Einrichtung
get in the
kaputt
first one
machen.
and just roll all the way over.
Absolutely. So before I do this lady a favor, I didn't mean to throw that at her baby.
Oh, niemand sagt was.
I didn't mean to throw that at her baby, but I'm doing her a solid here, so it's fine. I'm gonna break her pots, throw things at her baby, and then give her a Yoshi doll.
Okay, fair trade, I suppose.
Absolutely. And so in exchange for that, I got a ribbon, and then I can exchange the ribbon with someone else in this world. So everybody wins.
So I know that Audrey touched on it a little bit earlier with Dan, but Dan, you did work on the original localization for this title.
Ah, das wird lustig.
Yeah, and this world is
Das
filled
Huhn werden
with
wir
all
auch schlagen.
kinds of different charming and quirky characters. And I was wondering if you had any particular favorite.
It's really hard to pick a favorite because there's so many. I was trying to think of a good answer for this, and the only one I could remember was that alligator named Sail.
Yeah.
To sell you things.
Right.
I don't know why he stuck in my mind, but I just thought it was very funny that there was an alligator named Sail who would sell you things. But I'm curious what Aonuma-san's favorite characters are again.
青沼さんの一番好きなキャラクターは誰でしょうか？
はい、そこに今画面にいますけど、ワンワンっていうね、
das ist eine schöne Sache, Yvchen.
出てくるキャラクターですけど、本当にネタバレになっちゃうんであんまり言えないですけど、すごい活躍をしてくれて、もう僕はずっとこのワンワンと一緒にいたかったぐらいです。
And so, as you can see on the screen, my favorite character is Bow Wow. You know, he's kind of maybe a familiar face from the Mario series. And I won't go into too much detail because I don't want to go spoiling everything. But, you know, I honestly hope that I could travel the whole world with Bow Wow.
That's a solid choice. And look, there's a little baby one.
Oh, yeah.
Adorable. And so my favorite character is actually Marin, and I'm going to go and talk to her right now. The story actually, again, we're not going to spoil anything, but Link is shipwrecked on this island, and Marin actually rescues him. And so then he has to go and try and find a way off of this seemingly inescapable island by finding the 8 instruments of the sirens and awakening the windfish. And Marin here is singing one of my all-time favorite songs, Ballad of the Windfish. It's an original song from this game. It's absolutely heartbreakingly gorgeous.
It's hard not to get emotional listening to it.
It really is. I'm not going to tear up. I promised myself I wouldn't, but it's really beautiful. I have to go ahead and grab this Kuko just to lighten the mood so I don't cry. But
all of the music
to the segment.
Yes, Zelda's known for its music, and this game is no exception. The music, the sound design, everything is just expertly done, as all Zelda games are. And so, one other thing I want to do here is I'm going to jump in a well, because that seems to me like a good idea.
Don't try this at home.
So there I go.
Der Link geht überall rein.
My brilliant plan paid off.
Yeah, in this case, you're rewarded for it.
Yes. Don't try this at home, kiddos.
Hat man das Herz halt auch im Original so leicht bekommen?
So, we already asked about your favorite character, Aonuma-san, but there's so much to love about this game. Could you tell us what your favorite thing about this game is?
さっきこの今作で好きなキャラの話していただきましたけど、今作で青沼さんが好きなことは何でしょうか？
このゲームね、2D マリオのプロデューサーの手塚が作ったっていうこともあって、さっき言ったワンワンとかマリオのキャラクターがすごくいろんなところに出てくるんですね。
So, as many of you may know, Mr. Tezuka was involved in creating Link's Awakening, and so, as like characters like Bow Wow, you see Mario characters that usually aren't in the Zelda series.
であとダンジョンに 横スクロールの画面が出てきたりとか、今までがこの後もそうなんですけど、ゼルダにない要素がたくさん入ってる、とっても異色作なんですよ。
And so, a lot of the dungeons even have side-scrolling stages, which is again not very something you see often in the Zelda series.
あとキャラクターもすごく個性的で、ちょっとコミカルなんですけど、でもこうじんわりとこう感動させられるようなシーンもあったりして、その世界観がすごく好きで、私はこの後ゼルダを作っていくことになりますけど、この作品には随分影響を受けたように思います。
And so, the characters also are very memorable. They're lively, they're comical, but they also bring tears to your eyes, you know. And so, a lot of that influenced what I had to do when I was developing Zelda going forward.
Absolutely. And you may have seen a second ago, I was using my shield. I want to point out that a huge UI improvement of this game is that your sword, shield, things like your power bracelet, Pegasus boots are always equipped, which is a huge improvement on the original because that frees up your Y and X button for whatever else you want to equip, and it just makes things a lot easier. And that's one of the things I really love about this version of the game is that it retains the classic feel and personality of the original, but with the just perfectly refined UI of modern Zelda games, which is really, really cool to see. And one last thing I'm going to point out here in Maybe Village is we see Dampe's shack mentioned on this sign. And that's kind of interesting because Dampe was not originally in this game. And what is he doing in this game? I'm not going to tell you, but we're going to tell you a little bit later in this segment. Just a little bit of a tease. But I think I've explored Maybe Village enough, and I'm going to go ahead and show us a little something else.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wir schauen uns das Relevante gebündelt am Stück an.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, we're very, very excited to announce that the Color Dungeon is indeed in this version of the game. The Color Dungeon was first introduced in the DX version from the Game Boy Color, and this is the complete version of this. So, as I said, we're very, very happy to confirm that the Color Dungeon is in this game.
Right. Color maybe not quite as novel as it was on the Game Boy Color, but still really neat to see that all of the content of that DX version is represented here.
Absolutely. And as you can see, these camo goblins
sink
into the ground in their various colors. And
Oder ist das was anderes?
See, I'm going to break
You have to break pots.
I'm sorry.
Because we're playing a Zelda game.
Thank you for your patience, Aonuma-san, while I break all these pots. So this is a puzzle. I'm not going to go too far into this dungeon. I don't want to spoil it for everybody, but basically you hit these switches and it changes the switches next to them. I've played this about 1 billion times, so I know what I'm doing here.
You know what to do here.
Yes. And I'm not going to go too much farther, but I would be remiss as a Zelda fan if I let this clearly bombable wall pass me up.
Right.
So it's got cracks in it. It makes a different sound when you hit it with your sword. It's begging to be bombed. So I'm going to go ahead and do it justice.
Oblige.
Boom.
Den Dungeon gab's auch im Original.
And I'm rewarded with a room full of rupees, which is one of the best things in the world.
Please collect
them. I'm going to get them all.
Okay, thank you.
We can go about our business. Da-na-na-na. I'll stop being a nerd now and just get the rest of the rupees. All right, and that was all I'm going to show you of the Color Dungeon. As I said, it's just kind of a sneak peek, and now we're going to show you something that's brand new to the game. Take it away, Sam.
That's
right.
Jetzt kommt dieser Dungeon Maker, oder? We saw this in the Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
But there was a new little bit that was added to the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening for Nintendo Switch. So just as the Color Dungeon was brand new content for the DX version, what we've got here for the Nintendo Switch version is called the Chamber Dungeon. And just to give you an idea of where we are in the world here, we're in Taltal Heights, and we're just slightly to the east here of this Moblin hideout. We see this new location. And this is something that DX players might recognize as being the camera HUD, but But in this game, it's something brand new.
It looks like a shack.
Yeah, it looks a little bit like a shack, and it's filled with our friend Dampe here.
He was looking for an adventuring assistant, too.
Right, yeah. So this is something that I actually wanted to ask Anuma-san about the introduction of Dampe into the world of Link's Awakening. He wasn't originally here on Koholin Island, so would you like to talk a little bit about what he's doing here and about maybe some of the inspiration behind the Chamber Dungeon?
断片の紹介と、あとパネルダンジョンについてお話しいただけますでしょうか。
Heißen der auf Deutsch?
このダンペイさんって、時のオカリナから出てきてるキャラクターで、墓守の設定の人なんですけど、今回その人に新しく登場してもらって、そこでパネルダンジョンという新しい遊びを体験してもらおうと思います。
And so many of you may know Dampe was maybe in, I think, Ocarina of Time, and he was a gravekeeper there. But in this game, he's going to be the one that introduces you to the new game called Panel Dungeons, or Chamber Dungeons.
Keine Ahnung, er ist ja näher.
Vielleicht
kennst du mal die Beleuchtung noch nicht. Ich hab mir eine Softbox gekauft und wir hatten ein bisschen besser ausgeleuchtet.
実際のそのダンジョンがアレンジできるっていうそういう遊びで、そのお題をですねこのダンペイさんが出してくれるっていうそういう遊びになってます。
And so what are chamber dungeons? So they are where you can create your own dungeons. If you complete a dungeon, you get pieces that for each room that you cleared, and you could rearrange them to make your own dungeon. And so Dampe will be the one that introduces you to challenges in creating chamber dungeons.
でダンジョンもね、ユーザーが自分でアレンジできるっていうのが前からゼルダに入れてみたいなってずっと思ってたんですけど、誰もができるようにするために難しいこと考えなくてもできるパズルを解くような感覚でやるとダンジョンができるっていうそういう遊びにしました。
And so I've always wanted to create a way for players to create their own dungeon, but I didn't want to make it anything too hard. So just like a puzzle or solving a puzzle, I wanted to make this chamber dungeon easy enough for people to play and feel like they're solving a puzzle.
Yeah, that's right. And you can see here, so I've started a little bit of a dungeon arrangement here. And the way these chambers are arranged, up at the top here, they're categorized in depending on how many doorways they have. So you can see here, these are all chambers that have one doorway. These are all chambers that have two, etc. And then you can see they're further categorized into where the doorways are exiting out of the chambers. So a few things about dungeon arrangement in the chamber dungeon.
Cool.
You'll need to make sure that you have at least an entrance and a nightmare. Those are kind of the primary components of any dungeon. But also you'll want to make sure that all of the doorways are connected to other doorways. So you can't leave any of those just hanging or unfulfilled there. So you can see I'm starting to make a little bit of a dungeon arrangement here. And you might notice a few other things. So some of these chambers have icons on the underneath of them. And those give you an idea of the sorts of features that are available in this particular chamber. So you can see this one has a treasure chest, and this one has a staircase, and some of them have locked doors. If you're using locked doors, you need to make sure that you include enough chambers with treasure chests to supply enough keys for you to get through all of those locked doors. And the way those stairways connect is really fun, because what you can do is if you use stairways, they'll automatically create a sub-area that you'll have to go through between the two stairways. And that's one of those 2D side-scrolling sections that Anuma-san was talking about a little bit earlier. And you might see some fun enemies in there. But so this is like a Picross-like puzzle. So the chamber dungeon, unlike any other dungeon before, you arrange things yourself. But they're challenges. You have to go through this puzzle portion of the arrangement. And once you're finished with that, then you have to adventure through your dungeon. So the challenge comes in two parts. The chamber dungeon can actually take a little bit of time to arrange. Like I said, it is a puzzle, so it takes some time to get through. So I'm not gonna go through the entire thing just here. So I'm gonna skip ahead to one that I have arranged previously. If it works.
And you're very, very devious, so I'm sure that it's full of all kinds of terrible, awful things.
I seem to have a little bit of issue with the controller here. Let me try and get that sorted out. But while we're getting this figured out, I was wondering if Anuma-san could talk a little bit about the Chamber Dungeon and how it mixes up the gameplay for someone who has already played through the Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening.
このパネルダンジョンの追加で過去にゲームを遊んだ方でも遊んでない方でもどのようなプレイを期待できますでしょうか。
そうですね。オリジナルはを遊ばれた皆さんの記憶に強く残るそういうゲームだったと思いますけど、実はあんまりダンジョンのことは覚えてない人が多いんじゃないかなと思うんですけど。
So I know this game left a strong impression on many players, but honestly, I don't know if everybody remembers exactly how to play everything.
Okay, das ist der große Dungeon.
このパネルダンジョンってそのパズルを解くような形で感覚でそのダンジョンをアレンジするっていうお話をしましたけど、そこまで遊んできたダンジョンの記憶をもとにそれでダンジョンをこうアレンジするとですね、またちょっと面白いダンジョンが作れるんで、これを本編のダンジョンをクリアしながらこれをパネルダンジョンも遊んでいくと、そのダンジョンの記憶っていうのはすごく強く残るものになるんじゃないかなと思ってます。
And so, as I mentioned earlier, this is just like figuring out a puzzle. So, if you go back to your memories of how you completed the dungeon and then play this dungeon as well, I think it'll leave a very strong impression while you play. And also, if you play this while you progress the main story, I think it'll even leave a stronger impression.
All right, so we've got this up here now, and you could see now that there's a little green check mark there next to the Fill Up Your Hearts challenge. Well, I guess I should have explained that. This particular challenge, you needed to fill in every single one of the empty tiles with a chamber. And so this one I've already completed. You could see I've cleared it. And when you complete it, you get a clear time. And you'll see that that's 7 minutes and 42 seconds right now. And one of the fun things that you can do with those clear times is you can challenge yourself to beat your dungeon faster and faster. Or you could challenge a friend to see if they might be able to beat your dungeon in a faster time. So I was wondering if Anuma-san, would you please play through this dungeon and see if you could please beat my clear time?
さんに遊んでいただけるでしょうか。そして僕のタイムを早くクリアしていただきたいんですけども。
お願いされてしまったな。
Raus aus der Komfortzone.
私ゲーム開発者ですけど非常にゲームが下手くそなんで。
So I'm a game developer, but I'm not very good at games.
まあでもとりあえずチャレンジしてみます。
But I'll do my best.
This is a great rare treat for all of us.
Yeah. Ainuma-san, of course, has spent, I'm sure, many, many years thinking about the dungeon arrangement and the flow of a player's movement through a dungeon and about pacing the puzzles properly. So I'm really curious to see how he's going to get on with this dungeon where I've thought about none of those
how much
things.
time have you spent thinking about those things, Sam?
This was designed to torture other Treehouse members.
Yeah, apologies. I admittedly, I did include some more devious elements here. Yeah, using the map is really an effective way to get through this particular dungeon.
まってますから、まずこういってここまで宝箱を開けるっていうのがいい感じですね。
So I'm gonna go through that route and try to get that key over there where you saw the cursor hovering.
Okay. He's calling his shots. I like
being
it.
Strategic. I like
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah, these guys could be really challenging.
Yeah.
They're more like a timing puzzle almost.
Yeah.
Trying to defeat them.
And as you mentioned, since it times your completion, it's a real fun and terrible treat to try and best your friend's time
Stopp die Zeit. Man kann ja Pause machen und nachdenken.
He's doing really well
really
so far.
well.
So yeah, I said I think my clear time again was like 7 minutes 42 seconds. So he's on a really good
Bevor
pace
bestätigt,
right now.
kann er einfach Pause machen und nachdenken.
But this is almost like a randomizer of sorts. So these are all familiar rooms. So you've seen these rooms in other dungeons. And Dompe will create these chambers for you. And even though you know the puzzle, you may know the way through it, because they're all arranged in a completely different order, it's a new type of challenge.
Yes, and that really adds someone, even if you're somebody who has memorized every corner of this game, all of those dungeons, those rooms become brand new when you or a friend has arranged them into something completely different.
Right. Quickly dispatching all of those keys and finding yet another treasure chest.
This isn't his first Zelda rodeo.
Yeah, apparently not. I think it's really funny, Anuma-san, that...
oh, he knew about your devious tricks, Sam.
Yeah, okay. I love using those spinning blades because usually when you walk into a room in Zelda, you're thinking about, okay, what kind of puzzle am I going to face here? What kind of, am I going to have a challenging enemy that I'm going to need to battle? But with those spinning blades, the challenge really is just walking into the room.
Really can shake your confidence.
Using the
I'm
map
gonna check
again.
the map again.
Oh mein Gott, er nutzt die Karte, Leute.
But yeah, I was saying earlier, I think it's really funny that that Anuma-san has Rock's feather on Y because the
correct answer, Sam.
Yeah. Oh, really? Well, in Breath of the Wild, the jump button was X, so I always put Rock's feather on X.
そうなんです。トラップはジャンプで受けれるんですけど、結構失敗するんです。
So you could, you know, avoid that enemy with jumping, but you know what? Sometimes you fail. So.
Yeah. He's making really great time through this dungeon.
Yeah, they're just pushing those enemies off the edge.
Right.
Get out of here.
He might just beat your time, Sam.
I'm thinking that's going to happen. So the chamber... Ooh.
Aber man kann springen,
Yeah,
ne?
this room is a little bit challenging. So yeah, those chamber dungeon challenges come in two parts. And you're going to have different conditions that you need to fill for those challenges. For both the arrangement portion of the challenge, but also through the adventure portion of the challenge. Oh, nice. Already. My goodness.
He's only at 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you see that?
I am... I'm kind of awestruck. I don't know how to... Oh, no. All right, you've got it. There you go.
He's trying to make your time feel better, Sam.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's just delaying to try and make me feel better.
Oh, he's already at the boss.
Yeah, he's already at the
So we're at the
nightmare.
boss now.
And this is a really fun one.
Yeah.
I like this guy.
Yeah, this isn't your kind of standard hit him 3 times and you're done kind of boss.
Yeah, as we briefly mentioned, so all of the characters, the bosses, the NPCs in this game are so unforgettable,
Right.
so quirky.
I like how they kind of talk to you.
Yeah.
He's giving you a little clue about what to do here.
Man kann die ganze Zeit nachdenken. Solange man nicht bestätigt, dass der Text weitergeht, kann man nachdenken.
It's this is only for the boss of the second dungeon in the game, so I think maybe it's still early.
まあ2番目のダンジョンなんで、まあ大丈夫なんです。
Making
But
quick
yeah,
work
he's
of
making
him,
really
too.
quick work of it. But I really like the sequence. He's using a technique, actually, that I've never seen before. He's staying really close to the boss and then getting under the fireballs, which is not something that I've seen before.
I think the normal strategy is to get hit by lots of fireballs.
Right.
Yeah, that may be different from the original game, too. 'Cause this has more of a 3D feel to it. I don't
Right.
know.
No, that's
I
true.
can tell you for sure. It's been 26 years.
Oh, and
after
he's in the second phase.
Oh.
Nice. Oh, I didn't know you could hit multiple times there.
Am I doing pretty well?
He's doing great.
Well.
Jonah halt. Wird vorgesagt, was man machen muss.
I think you're making him angry, though.
Yeah,
He's got this. He's gonna laugh at you, I think.
I was gonna say, at this rate, he's gonna shave 4 minutes off of my time.
Got
Goodness
him.
gracious.
Wow. And that's how you do that.
Nice work. Nice work. And a new record,
Yes.
Completely
Good job.
obliterating my dungeon clear time. Thank you so much for playing through that. I appreciate it.
schooling us
It
on
doesn't seem to
Zelda.
have tripped you up all that much.
Yes.
All right, well, we're running low on time for The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. But before we go, we had something really cool that we wanted to share with everyone. And yes,
And it's this little guy here. It's a new amiibo for The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening.
Oh.
He's so shiny and adorable.
Oh my
and
God.
I'm never letting him go.
Oh, die ist ja süß.
He's gonna mess up some bokoblins and melt your heart.
このアミーボ本当にゲームの中に出てくるリンクそのままなんですよ。これだけアミーボとそれからゲームの中のキャラクターが一致してるのって今まで初めてじゃないかなと思いますけどね。
So this might be the first amiibo where Link looks exactly like he's taken out of the game. He
Yeah.
looks
Yes.
just exactly like what he is in the game.
100%.
Absolutely.
Oh, he's adorable. So what he's going to do for The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening is he's going to add into the chamber dungeon what's called a plus effect. and the plus effects are layered on top of the chambers, and they add a new gameplay variant to what would otherwise be a familiar room. So what Link adds, the Link's Awakening amiibo here, what he adds is Shadow Link to your dungeon. And Shadow Link is not like a normal mini-boss where you fight him in a single room. He'll actually chase you through several different rooms.
Oh, wow.
So if you're playing through your own chamber dungeon and you add Shadow Link and you defeat him, you can earn a lot of rupees. So that's a great thing to do if you're maybe running low in the main game. But it's also a fun thing to do if you have someone else play your chamber dungeon like I had out on Umasan. I could have laid a little trap for him and maybe placed Shadow Link on top of one of those chambers. And there are other plus effects in the game that we might be talking about a little bit more later. And in addition to the Link's Awakening amiibo, there's also the other Legend of Zelda series amiibo will work with the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, but not just that. Any Legend of Zelda character amiibo will work with the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. So if you have from the Smash Brothers series, if you have Sheik or Ganondorf,
okay, jeder Zelda amiibo.
You don't need this, right, Sam?
No, I need it. Please don't. I have a hole in my heart already.
But yeah, we wanted to share this beautiful new amiibo with everybody. It's absolutely lovely.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Next up, we have a new trailer for a different game, and after that, we're going to see some live gameplay of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order. So stay tuned to Treehouse Live.
Thank you, Andre.
So.
Thank you so much.
Das Mario Maker habe ich gestern schon geguckt. Ah, es gibt noch ein neues Mario Maker. Das haben wir auch gesehen.
Stop staring. Haven't you guys ever seen a dragon before?
Würde ich sagen, gehen wir nochmal in die gerade läuft.
Here comes Spyro.
Link. Finden wir die Amiibo zurück. Das stimmt, das stimmt.
Nicely done.
Machen wir das? Ja, mal das. Okay.
Okay, so let's find the coins. And you can see, it knows we...
Das Mario Maker hatten wir schon.
Why have just
einmal Mario Maker.
When you could have a...
Okay.
Let me tap that guy.
Noch irgendwas vorher?
But why?
I think that'll still work. Oh yeah.
Luigi's Mansion. Nee, das ist kein Luigi's Mansion. Dies ist kein Luigi's Mansion. So. Gehen wir zum Mario Maker über. Und, oh, Mario und Sonic? Nee, das ist der Pause-Screen, oder? Oh, das ist der Pause-Screen. Ja. Also haben sie auch noch nichts gezeigt, ne? Im Treehouse. Das ist komisch. Aber falls doch, sagt jemand Bescheid. Ah, Mario und Sonic? Warum kommt kein Mario und Sonic? Egal. So. Mario kommt gleich. Ich bin mal kurz Toilette und hol mir was zu trinken. Aber ich lasse es schon mal so laufen.
Hey everybody, welcome
Bis
back
gleich.
to Nintendo Treehouse Live at E3. I'm Sam, joined by my colleagues Morgan, Sam, second Sam from the Treehouse, and Teresa.
Hi guys.
And we are back to show you a little bit more of Super Mario Maker 2. Last segment, we took a pretty good look at the Super Mario 3D World course style, had some fun in there. This time around, Morgan, you're going to show us some of the new stuff that's been added to jazz up the classic game styles.
Yeah, we're going to show off some of the other styles, some of the themes, and most importantly, there's 4 of us on stage, so that we're going to play this course 4-player local once we finish finishing it off. So right off the bat, I just wanted to show some, this is the original Super Mario Brothers style with some slopes. Already looks kind of crazy.
Yeah, brand new. And even like a squatting Mario sprite, a small Mario sprite, is something that's really interesting for this.
I get a little bit of momentum, and if I run, I can really get some speed going on these slopes. But you know, if you're gonna be sliding down a hill, I think we need some snow.
Let's see it.
Oh, so pretty. So good.
Oh, I'm getting a little bit more slide. But I feel like butt sliding, especially icy butt sliding, is best done in Super Mario World style.
So that snow...
Warte, ich spule nochmal zurück.
Sam?
Themes and... themes, and most importantly, there's 4 of us on stage, so that we're going to play this course for
Toadette als Katze?
local once we
Man kann Toadette spielen im
finishing it
Einzelspiel?
off. So right off the bat, I just wanted to show some. This is the original Super Mario Brothers style with some slopes. Already looks kind of crazy.
Yeah, brand new. And even like a squatting Mario sprite, you know, a small Mario sprite is something that's really interesting for this.
I get a little bit of momentum. And if I run, I can really get some speed going on these slopes. But you know, if you're gonna be sliding down a hill, I think we need some snow.
Let's see it.
Oh. Jetzt wird's rutschig.
Oh, so pretty. So good.
Oh, und die Musik.
Oh, I'm getting a little bit more slide. But I feel like butt sliding, especially icy butt sliding, is best done in Super Mario World style.
So that snow for this Super Mario Brothers theme is something that's newly added to the game. That design, all of that art is brand new.
That's right. So
Stimmt, das gab's gar nicht im Original, oder?
Is press down. I'm gonna duck.
Whee! Oh Gott.
Pretty good.
Das sieht so komisch aus.
And that
Oh,
just
nice.
feels good. No other inputs. I'm just sliding, and you can see where that on-off switch is, where I ended up my slide. So keep that in mind. Let's go back up to the top. But you know, we've been playing with Mario all day. So what do you guys think? Change it up?
Yeah. I
would say so.
Let's see someone else.
One of the neat things you can do in settings is just change.
Tatsache.
So we've got Mario, Luigi.
Tatsache, Leute.
Toadette. You guys
Man kann
have
im
a...
Einzelspieler mit allen spielen.
Toadette.
Sounds good.
All right, unanimous.
Das ist schön. Und was gibt's da noch so? Jetzt schauen wir mal. Course Notifications, okay. Comment on my courses. Okay. Ah, okay, man kann quasi einstellen, was man angezeigt bekommen soll an Benachrichtigungen. Text for my courses don't lock. Okay.
And that's not going to change the
That's schick.
physics of
That's
my,
nice.
of how I play. It's just going to change
Look at that
how I look.
adorable Super Mario World Toadette.
I know, isn't that cool?
Ich wusste gar nicht, dass du live bist.
So worth mentioning, this won't affect
Ja.
story mode. In story mode,
Das
you
ist
are
wahr.
Mario trying to rebuild the
Ja,
castle, but
right.
it is so cool that when you're here as a maker and then
Ah,
trying
die
to
hat
have
wahrscheinlich die
stuff that you
Mario-Physik.
have this extra variety.
Oder läuft die
and getting
schneller?
to see how all these characters
Ah,
look in all
das
the games.
glaube ich
It's really
nicht.
fun.
That's exactly right. It is really fun. It just gives
Das
you a
würde mich
little
jetzt
extra,
interessieren,
you
aber.
know, good vibes. So I'm going to change it to night. And
Nice.
what that's going to do is, at night, in the snow theme, things get slipperier. So again, I'm going to
What's
do
up, new dog?
Yes.
Look at his name, buddy.
Oh. Jetzt bin ich gespannt, wie schnell das wird.
He is. He's just like
Wenn sie sich duckt.
flying by.
Hauptsache Toadette.
Don't mind me.
So I'm going to do that same thing I did again. Just press down. And pay attention to where I end up having slid
Okay.
to.
Perfect. It's almost like you planned it.
Yeah, maybe. But that just shows how you can just by changing
jetzt
it
hast du
to
angezeigt,
night,
dass
so
du live
you've got
bist.
this whole different mechanic at play. Which
And I
is,
like the twinkly Super Mario World
Lullaby?
music. Yeah.
so this is we're going to show this off on-off switches. This is the simplest application.
The on-off switch is an incredibly versatile course part, though. It's really interesting the variety of situations you can build up just using this one piece.
Oh, jetzt braucht sie.
I'm going to need a way to trigger that one.
You almost had enough
Hey, das
momentum
ist
to
cheating.
get up there.
Almost. Not quite. Actually, I maybe, but we're going to go with a way to trigger this on-off switch, which is pipe. We're going to need some way to trigger it. How about a Koopa? And you know what? Let's change the color of the pipe. So tap and hold.
And just see there are arrows on the different pipes. So besides this being a color choice, which can be cool if you're color coordinating a course, those arrows are actually representing how fast whatever you put in there is going to trigger.
That's exactly right. So let's go with red, which has the... oops.
And that's cool. That's new for Super Mario Maker 2. That variable wasn't something that you could control before.
Koopa Troopa Party!
Oh my
Gott, kommt nicht schnell raus.
Probably too many, so
Oh,
I'm
das ist
gonna
auch
go
cool.
with
Das ist
blue, which
nice.
is the slowest, and that'll give you one at a time. And let's go back over here, because I would actually have already turned that on, which means this one would be off. Wait for this guy. Get that going.
I don't know, he seems lonely. I feel like
Jetzt muss schnell sein.
the red pipe, he had his whole family.
Gutes
with
Timing
him.
haben wir.
Alright.
It was a beautiful
Nice.
thing.
So we're through there. All right. So what more on-off switches? Okay, I'm really obsessed with on-off switches, and I think a lot of people at home are going to be.
Yeah.
Das
maybe
werden
it's
gefährliche
actually just
Sprünge.
so how you can kind of add on-off switches to more of a sort of a
Bam.
speedrun style.
Oh, ja.
Nice pacing.
Oh, die Möglichkeiten.
Oh, you got that little pokey-looking snowman back there.
Yeah, that's one of the little background elements. So that felt great, but I want there to be a sort of a B route, an easier way that if someone doesn't want to do that, or when we're playing 4-player, I don't know that we'll be able to do all that at the same time.
We can try.
You're already anticipating the chaos that's about to happen.
So I'm just flipping through my menus here. What I'm looking for is this snake block. We're going to put one of those down here. Snake block starts off as 4 blocks. I can actually make it a little, let's make it a 6. How's that look?
That's
6?
good.
6 wide. And
Das sind
similar
7.
to-
7 wide now. Nice.
Well, 7's fine. So I'm going to make it go straight over here and then start winding its way up, kind of like a staircase over here.
But you could actually change the speed of this snake block if you wanted to, right?
That's true. Very good point. I could. It's green right now, so if I were to drop onto it in green, it starts moving. And if I tap, hold, blue. Oh, yeah, we're
Got a
cruising
motor.
now.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? We're going to be playing this 4-player.
With 4 people, that might be a little too challenging for us.
I
we'll
mean,
go back to green.
the safest bet is green,
Yeah.
but yeah.
And I'm actually going to attach a sound effect.
Ja, grün ist
here.
langsamer, blau ist
Let's
schneller.
bust out,
Oder?
so while
Ja.
we're riding it, let's put one of these, let's put this Mario 64
Oh!
music on. It matches my
All right.
shirt, so...
Man kann sich die
I love
Musik
this
selber
part of
aussuchen?
Customization. This is so fun.
Oh nee,
Let's
das
attach
sind nur
that to there.
Soundeffekte.
So when we get to that point, we should be jamming at that point.
Aber der fährt dann mit, der
I'm
Soundeffekt.
not gonna. I'm gonna wait for that 4-player. I'm gonna take the high road again.
Oh, okay.
We'll do that. We'll do that. The 4 of us.
All right.
But we got a new part to show off.
Yeah.
All right.
Warum
That
zeigt
is
er
the
das nicht?
Swinging Claw.
Die Mario
See,
64
again, I
Musik hören.
cannot-
Oh, but you're still in night mode, so yeah, it's remarkably slippery.
It is. It really is. And I want to stay above that slipperiness, so I'm just gonna jump, and these claws will just grab you. Jump out. You don't have to do anything to have it grab you. And then if I don't touch the stick, it just kind of hangs out there, unmoving. And then I can start to back and forth, build up some momentum, jump, jump. Ooh,
Nice. Also, I can't believe you play 2D Mario with the stick.
I know. Well, I've been going back and forth. I've got this crazy Magic Koopa box
Ja, gibt's auch, ja.
so that I can use touch controls while we're streaming.
Right.
I could be also creating with
schön.
the Pro Controller if I wanted to. Both work great. I'm just sort of in touch control mode right now. So these claws are great, but I don't know. Should we make this section harder? Right now, it's sort of bare bones.
Yeah, and you've really only shown off one of the things that the hanging claw can do.
Yeah.
We've got some other possibilities.
Yeah. So let me zoom out really quick, too. I just clicked the right stick, and that allows me to sort of see at a glance. See, there's nothing else going on. It's kind of sparse. Let's add some enemies, because what happens when you add an enemy to a claw? Let's go with somebody simple right off the bat. How about a... Moles love snow, right?
Okay.
Sure.
So that'll just hold on to the enemy until I get close enough. Woo!
It's like an evil claw machine game.
Yeah,
He has to deal with the slipperiness, too. Look at that.
And
He
he's
can't
just
turn around.
sliding around too.
So
Ja.
that's a good first enemy.
Jetzt
Let's
leidet
actually
aber auch so.
embiggen him.
Nice.
Ich glaube, der hat das Eis gerade überhaupt nicht gejuckt. Dem Gegner.
We could do Boom Boom.
Maybe a power up in one of those, because you're going to need something at some point.
Okay, okay.
That is true.
Okay, we'll do boom boom. Big boom boom.
I think
Oh yeah.
the power up was for us, not for Boom Boom.
Right.
Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. One more. How about Wiggler? Everybody like
All
Wiggler?
right.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah.
know. Wiggler's the best.
Big Wiggler.
Big Wiggler.
With wings?
Why does
maybe?
everything
Sure.
have to be big?
Why not with wings?
I don't know what'll
All right.
happen.
Yeah.
He attaches by his head, which is nice.
Oh
I like your guys'
gosh.
idea of giving us, let's give ourselves that, and let's give ourselves some fire flowers.
Somewhat of a fighting chance, I guess.
I think we'll be okay, and there'll be 4 of us. We'll
I
be
don't
fine.
know. Big Wiggler is worrisome.
What's interesting here is I think you're going to need to run under the enemies to trigger them so they drop out of the claws, and then you're going to have to backtrack to get back to that first one to swing your way up. So this is going to be really interesting,
Yeah,
unless
well-
you can get your height off of one of those enemies close to the wall.
Yeah, and we'll play with that. And you know what? Let's put it, since we're going to have to come all the way over to the right anyway, let's add a 10 coin over here. Actually, let's make it a 50 coin.
Ooh.
Why not?
Nice.
I've got another coin up here, and then I've got this icicle here. These icicles
Man
are
kann auch
awesome.
einfach auf den Wiggler springen und dann
They
hoch.
both aesthetically look great. This one is they're also dangerous, so you can, if I were to jump into this, it would not be good.
Oh.
You can also tap and hold those to change them to icicles that you can see that it's shaky, and if you get just close enough, it'll drop. and it'll respawn. And you can do so much with those. If you watch the Invitational, the final course, we got kind of obsessed with the icicles. You can stand on them. You can use them to kill Bowser. You can do all sorts of stuff. So icicles, yeah, not going to talk any more about them now, but
they're fun.
They're fantastic. And then one more thing I wanted to show off. So this is like a big deal, actually, for people that are really into making courses and aesthetic courses and courses with like rooms that feel well sealed off. So I've got this kind of gross area over to the right where I can see this pipe and this blank spot I forgot to fill in. So as long as I have actually let me pin that ground, tap and hold. So I've got this, as long as I have an unbroken line of ground from bottom to top, I'm gonna make it too wide, even though I don't technically need to. Suddenly, when I drop back into this area, see how now it doesn't scroll over to the right?
Yeah.
It actually seals it off like it was a perfect sort of barrier there.
Now it's a clean end level.
Yeah,
exactly. It gives your courses that more professional look.
Oh, it's so nice. And if you make like
Genau, während ich streame, könnt ihr gut bauen.
Seal those off. It's fantastic.
It gives you a lot more control over all of the space you've got to work with in a course as well. What's nice there is really you're just building that full line perpendicular to the direction of movement. So if you were in a vertical sub area, something like this, it would be a single line of blocks just going all the way across the screen from left to right, and then you'd be able to accomplish the same goal.
Exactly. It's such a nice tool for creators and just to sort of put that polish that you want. So I've got this sub area that we're going to be playing through. It's very bare bones right now, and I'm still in the same theme. That's no fun. Let's get back down to the bottom. Whee! It's actually way more fun going down than it was climbing up.
The biggest slide ever.
So let's mix it up. So we're already in night. So let's see. Maybe we could do. Let's see. What should we do first for night? We could do. One thing we could do is sky.
Looks so fluffy and cheerful now.
Sky is pretty fun because you get sort of this floaty
anti-gravity.
Half gravity.
Yeah.
Feels pretty good, but not quite the right course design for the sky. We could do.
Need to go underwater?
We could do underwater. And remember, night is turned on each time I switch it. So this is water plus night equals. Ooh, now we're getting, now we're getting somewhere.
Oh, das wird auch cool.
It's a setting I love because certain enemies and course parts actually serve as light sources.
Right.
So you can do some really interesting things if you go underwater at night and then place things that are going to be objects. Maybe you find them, you trigger them to get some light. You can actually make yourself a maze where there's tons of stuff around you, but you're not going to be able to tell, so you're going to try to find your path through the course as you go.
That's such a great point, Sam. So I'm going to go ahead and add just to show off what you were talking about.
Hey, little buddy.
You can see that fireball, is actually going to create an extra.
Oh, das ist cool.
I could see some really devious stuff happening with this setup.
I think it'll actually work better if I'm down there because you can. I want to show off how that kind of has its own light source. So you can imagine a level where maybe you're having to follow those. Very
fireball.
Cool. Right. Yeah.
And this is actually something that works in the Ghost House.
Kann man ja quasi an den Seiten
well.
Hinweise
So if you're
geben.
in the Ghost House theme and you're in night, you're going to get this same really spooky darkness. You can do some really interesting stuff there.
It's true. There's there's so many combinations. I don't even know where people are going to start.
Kein Hammer. Nee, Hammer gibt's nicht.
Yeah, just pick something that
Also in
inspires you
Grunde
and go with it.
It would actually be really cute if you had Luigi as your maker. You could do like a Luigi's Mansion kind of thing where
I love
suddenly
that.
you make
Oh,
a spooky, dark Luigi spot.
So speaking of spooky, well, maybe not spooky, but fiery at least. We've got all that ice up top. So how about we actually switch to fire down here? Let's do the castle. And castle plus night is actually something I don't think anyone's ever seen yet.
No, I don't think so.
So
Let's
see what happens. So, okay, it's castle, but...
what's happening here?
That's so cool.
So it's your standard castle, but I'm actually swimming, and I've got lava. And I actually want to show off how this looks in New Super U, just because of the way the lava looks.
I do love because we played with water levels in the forest theme in our last segment here.
Oh, that's
the
cool.
little water level boat looks really angry when you're dealing with lava. Suddenly he's just not the happy little boat he was.
Oh yeah, look at him.
He is panicking.
That's right. I'm filling this whole chamber with lava.
What are you doing to us, Morgan?
It's going to be fine. Make it go faster. What do you think? Triple speed? Double speed?
Double speed?
Let's see maybe what triple speed looks like, but let's not
triple
leave
speed?
it there.
What triple speed looks like? Okay.
For the sake of science, I'm curious, but I don't think I want to deal with triple speed.
Let's zip back down to the bottom. Okay,
We're going to
so
be our
now,
own worst enemies here.
Okay.
All right.
Das
so
wird
I'm
richtig
swimming.
geil, Mann.
Got lava chasing me. That speed actually feels kind of okay.
The star
For,
in the
for a
background
single
looks so
player
peaceful.
and with no enemies.
Yeah, good point, good point.
Yeah, because
okay.
we will have collision against each other, so we're going to be bouncing around the walls a little
All right,
bit.
let's make it double speed. I appreciate you guys with the restraint. And we're going to go back to Super Mario World because that's how we want to play this final one. And yeah, let's fill up this chamber with some enemies and some coins, and then we can add a clear condition, and then we can play it 4-player.
Okay. Perfect.
So what do you guys
Oh,
think?
hören wir auch die Mario 64 Musik.
Oh,
Again?
man.
Always Wiggler.
It's kind of, he'll be swimming, though.
Wiggler
so
forever.
What about dry bones? Since it's kind
Look
of
at that. He's not even swimming. I'm swimming. Oh, okay,
he's
I like
just
that.
walking.
He's
I like
trying to
that.
run for safety, too.
I like that.
He realizes what you've done to him and
I
where
heard
he is, and he regrets
Teresa,
it.
did you say a dry bones?
Yeah.
I like a dry bones.
Oh, you just passed him. Next
Where
one.
are you, dry bones?
That one.
Put one right there.
More bekommen.
I'm going to add some more. What else? Anybody
Maybe
else got
some coins. We got to make this worth our while. We're going to suffer in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about some Magic Koopas?
Oh, no, that's too crazy. What? It causes so much
We can
chaos.
maybe have one Magic Koopa at
He'll
the
start
end.
taking apart the walls. I mean...
Let's have a Magic Koopa.
Okay, Magic Koopa.
Okay.
Sam's Magic Koopa.
You've seen what Magic Koopa does? An unchecked Magic Koopa?
So one of the things that's fun in the Course Creator that we're not going to show off here today, but just to talk about it a little bit, folks, if you're
He's up
watching,
here.
if you take a look at the left side of the
Thank you.
screen, there's a little icon next to the Mario's Trail icon where you have two little kind of faces hanging out together.
Yep.
What we could do if we wanted to just kind of kick back and work on a course together is actually swap over to co-op gameplay. So if we did that, for example, each of us could take a Joy-Con and we could actually work together to build a course. This is something that I think especially is going to be fun for families who are introducing their kids maybe to Mario Maker for the first time. You could take turns, so maybe somebody wants to take control of coins, and it's like, okay, maybe I'm not ready to build my own course, but I like coins, so while you're building the course, I'm just going to put some coins here, or maybe somebody wants to focus on enemies, but it's so nice that you can work together and really kind of practice those communication skills and have a chance to build something that you can share together.
Totally.
That should be fun.
You were worried about Magic Koopa?
You know what? We're going to see what happens.
Okay.
All right, I think we're about ready
Ich sehe sehr viele
play
Tode
this
voraus.
thing, but, as mentioned, I think we'd like to add a course condition to it. So let's go back to the start.
And here what's nice is the conditions will populate based on what you've set in this course. So if we see it here, it's supported by what you've built.
Right.
Yep. Reach the goal without taking damage. That's definitely possible. Reach the goal without land. I don't think that's possible.
And you can only set these clear conditions if you don't have a checkpoint flag.
That's
Because
right.
otherwise it
That's
gets deactivated.
Yes, that is absolutely correct. So we've not added a checkpoint for that reason. And you can see if
Mit
we change
Checkpoints
so it
kann man
knows how
keine
many enemies
Clear
you play.
Condition
So
machen.
you could do, and we could make it. We have to defeat all 10 Koopa Troopas, or you could make it. You know, you can always make it all or some of, which is really nice. What do you guys think? We could do an enemy one. We could make it that we have to take out Matt. Oh man. Or
Well, you placed a lot of coins. How about we do the collect a certain amount of coins clear condition?
Let's see how many coins you placed. It should
You
give
can
us
see
a count.
we could do reach the goal holding a shell as Fire Mario. That's
I'm
kind of
not
cool
sure I
too.
want to get a shell all the way through that.
I do like that you could do it. Yeah, I don't either. Okay, so let's find the coins. And you can see it knows we've placed 155 coins. What are you guys comfortable with? Probably not getting all together. Maybe
Nice round 100 maybe?
100? Nice even
120. The
Oh, yeah,
number
that
of
sounds
stars in Super Mario 64.
Oh, I like
Okay.
it. Okay.
Nice shout out.
Yeah.
Also, man muss sich alle sammeln.
That's true.
So I'm going to go ahead and save this.
That's one of the other things I love about getting to see these new game styles and the night versions of the themes. There's some beautiful music that's been created here.
yeah.
And it feels like it captures the style of those original games, even though for some of the games that this game is pulling from, there wasn't a snow, there wasn't a desert. So the fact that they've created music that fits in so well is just really enjoyable to play. And some of the night themes are really relaxing, actually, when you
Yeah.
listen to the music.
It's almost like getting DLC for a retro game when you get to see all this new art and all this new music for the original Super Mario Brothers.
That's right. So I went ahead and saved the edit we made. I've got it here loaded up, and we're going to go ahead and course spot, grab it, and then go over to the right. We've got this play together icon. Going to tap that and give us a second while we all get our Pro Controllers synced up.
Ob das gut funktioniert? Okay, Mario hat sich wieder ausgeklinkt. Oh Gott.
All right.
Okay,
We
looks
might have
like
only...
synced in.
Did we
It's
get 3?
Oh, we only got 3.
I think we only got 3.
Oh, we can fix this.
Yeah.
Let's go back out.
Let's try this again.
Do not worry. Whoever's Mario can go
Ooh,
ahead
that
and
Now, it looks like I am
help us
Mario.
out.
All right, hop out of here. And actually, since this is your baby, Morgan, I'm going to let you
Okay,
take Mario,
I'll take
who I
Mario.
have here.
I love this music.
I think this looks like Toadette. Super
Oh,
fun.
we got 4 of us
Here we
now.
are.
There we go. All right.
I
You
am
guys ready to
Toad.
roll?
Yeah, let's do this.
She'll do roll call. I'm Toad.
Teresa's Toad.
I think I'm Luigi. Yeah, I'm
Toadette.
Luigi.
Okay.
All right,
you guys
cool.
wanna do
Undo
some
dog.
icy butt slide?
Bye-bye.
Oh, sorry.
Why are you jumping on my head,
Sorry.
Joe?
Sorry.
I'm sliding here. All right, y'all, come on down.
And we've already got 20 coins. We're doing fantastic.
What did we set it at? 120. That's right.
All right, there we go.
Thank you.
Cool.
All right, so I feel like one of us should go deal with the
yeah.
Trooper situation.
No.
So we don't crowd it.
Oh,
Somebody
wenn man
get the shell
stirbt,
moving.
gibt's
Okay, Luigi,
so einen
get the shell
kleinen Lag.
moving. Oh, I like it. Yes, safety first.
Oh,
Aber auch diese
sorry.
Bubbles. Das heißt,
Ja,
geplante
let's try it
Tode
again.
sind auch möglich,
Wait,
oder?
it's good. There we go.
Yeah, is everything fine?
Theoretisch.
Wait.
Frage ist, ob man das dann hochladen kann.
Okay.
Toads are just going to watch the brothers here. It's all good.
Oh, der Lag, ne? Wenn jemand stirbt.
Okay, only one.
Luigi.
Oh, nice.
Jetzt bin ich
first.
gespannt, ob das auch
Here I come. All right, we're
bei
fine.
einem
Oh, sweet. I've
Okay.
rolled in.
ganz normalen
We're gonna have
Treffer
to
so
take
ist, dass
the
es so
part
lag.
train. Hold
Okay.
on. Wait,
Oh,
no.
I started.
Oh, mein 64.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Why would you do this?
Sorry,
We'll never forget
Toad.
you.
Und Lag ist aber schon groß, ne? Wenn jemand
So
stirbt.
we're still in the night
the
snow
snake-
theme, so this thing is really slippery.
Yeah, it has taken on the super slipperiness coefficient
This
of
is
the...
going to
Y'all
turn
are
into a
bouncing.
It's going up.
statue.
It's going up.
Oh,
It's going
gosh. No.
Quit bouncing on my head.
No.
Okay.
I can't jump.
It's not my fault.
Now,
Your head's so
if you guys
bouncy.
remember, we added only a single fire flower in that, but let's see what happens when we have 4 of us and we only have
Oh, I triggered
Jetzt
it.
bin ich
Hey,
gespannt.
Sorry.
Okay.
Grab
one
one.
for everybody. Don't get
Launch
greedy.
is coming.
Okay,
Don't get
also
greedy
auch bei
now.
Power-Ups
Okay, that
lag
we're going to
das.
get there.
Okay. Go
Uh.
Mario.
Yes.
Yay.
War das in Mario Bros. Wii und Wii U auch so?
All right.
All right.
Dass
getting
es
boom,
so
boom down.
gelaggt
Release
hat
the boom.
bei einem Treffer?
Oh no!
Oh no. Oh no.
Release the wiggler!
Guys.
No.
Okay, krass.
Oh my gosh. All right.
I'm gonna take the
tiny.
safe
I'm gonna
route.
stay here. Good luck, guys.
I'm working on him. Oh, you got the wiggler down too.
Sorry.
Why?
I'm gonna keep going. I'll see you guys
All right,
later.
y'all better
Lag.
get up there.
Oh, thank you for getting that coin.
Weißt ja, wie
watch
ich's
out for the
meine.
spike.
Oh, dang.
Come here, wiggler. No.
I forgot you changed that to one of the ones
Wait,
that
wait,
drops on you.
I made
Are
it.
we leaving Toadette?
There we go.
Nice.
No, I'm here. I'm good.
Let's go. Let's go.
And just one of us could made it, have went down the pipe and bubbled the others, but that's no
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
We all
Ist
made
auch
it.
bei den anderen so gewesen, okay?
It's the Death Wiggler.
Morgan.
Hey, listen. Everything's
Oh,
fine.
Toadette ist ja
Four of
richtig
us.
fett
Sorry, I
geworden.
think that was my fault.
Okay. Let's swim.
I'm tiny and vulnerable. Somebody go ahead of me.
Okay, I've still
Oh
got
Gott,
over
wie sieht
this.
das? Okay.
The fact that
Hi, buddy.
Oh,
the fact that we just got that flag actually shows that we have cleared the clear condition.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I feel
du
like
hast wie Lucky Toadette.
Look what you did, Morgan.
This is all
Dang
your
it,
fault,
I got
sir.
killed by my own Magic Koopa.
Aber man kann die anderen wieder befreien.
All right.
Oh, not again.
Keep going, keep
No,
going.
I'm trying to stay away from that guy. Oh, he killed him.
Careful, careful.
No.
I love you all, but I'm leaving you behind. Sorry.
We
Get out of
definitely
here.
could have set lava. For the record, Sam, we could have set the lava
You're right,
to level
you're right.
3. All right, so I feel like big finish. Maybe we could all line up, get a little spacing, and maybe do one
Okay.
last.
All right, take
one
turns.
last
Oh,
fly
warte.
together. Everybody line
go.
up on this part. Wait, up.
Ist der Erste, der in die Röhre reingegangen ist, auch als Erster rausgekommen? Oder war das
Sorry.
Zufall?
We
Get out of
definitely
here.
could have set lava.
Okay,
For
Toad,
the record,
Luigi.
Sam, we could have set the lava
Toadette,
to level
Mario.
3. All right, so I feel like
Toad,
big finish. Maybe we
Luigi,
could all line up,
Toadette,
get a
Mario.
little
Okay,
spacing,
gut.
and maybe do one
Okay.
last.
All right, take
one
turns.
last
Wenn
fly
man dann
together.
Race
Everybody line
macht,
up on
dann
this part. Wait,
soll's ja
no.
fair sein,
Give a
ne?
little space. Give a little
Okay.
space.
All right.
Gotta get on the slope though.
All right.
Oh, hold
Come
on.
on, Toad.
Are you good?
Okay, on 3, duck down. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah!
Nice finish, guys.
Nice
Magic
work.
was not
Yeah.
as bad as I thought it would be. That was all
We
right.
could have probably made it even more dangerous than we
That's
did.
true.
Wait,
That's
we
true.
got
Nur Mario
time
macht
after
so.
this is done. We can steal the system and go
Oh
elsewhere.
yeah,
Keep
yeah.
working
This is
on
all
it.
I'm going to be doing when the game comes out, which is like in barely over 2 weeks.
Yeah,
This
I
game
want
will be
28.
Yeah.
in your hands if you so desire. So.
Yes.
I can't
16
wait.
Tage noch,
Unfortunately,
ne?
that's about all the
Oh
time we
Gott.
have to torture ourselves by making this course harder right now. Teresa, Sam, Morgan, thanks so much for coming up and hanging out. Folks watching, thanks for tuning in. Please don't go anywhere. We are going to be checking out some Elder Scrolls Blades next. Stay tuned.
Ja, das ist cool. Und die Arena-Leiterin ist auch cool. Yo. Was mich wundert ist, dass die überhaupt überhaupt nichts zu Mario und Sonic gezeigt haben, ne? Bisher in keinem Treehouse. Und morgen ist ja das Treehouse zu den ganzen Nindies, ne? Das ist ein bisschen komisch. Bei 4 Spielern nervig mit dem gewollten Lag. Ja. Also würde ich jetzt auch als nervig ansehen, aber mal gucken. Mal gucken. Gerade wenn man halt zu einem präzisen Sprung ansetzt, ne, und dann so ein Lag kommt. Ist ein bisschen komisch. Aber ich würde sagen... ja. Ich würde dann sagen, dass wir das für heute gut sein lassen. Wahrscheinlich kommt's. Auch nichts mehr zu Mario und Sonic, ne? Weil um 0 Uhr sollte das jetzt aus sein eigentlich, glaube ich, oder? Keine Ahnung. So was gestern zumindest. Und ja, dann würde ich sagen, wünsche ich euch allen eine gute Nacht. Danke auf jeden Fall fürs dabei sein. Und falls noch jemand neu sein sollte auf dem Kanal, könnt ihr den Kanal gerne kostenlos abonnieren. Hier gibt es viel Mario Maker Content, auch dann zu Mario Maker 2 und anderen Nintendo Content. Und wenn ich morgen schon Cadence of Hyrule habe, dann werden wir das ab morgen wahrscheinlich auch streamen. Aber mal gucken. Das ist ja ab... Das kommt ja morgen raus, ne? Oder? Wenn ich das richtig verstanden habe. 13. Juni. Dann werden wir das wahrscheinlich streamen. Oder halt am Freitag dann. Mal gucken. Je nachdem, wie ich schaffe. Und ja, das wird nice. Und ja, dann wünsche ich euch auch allen eine gute Nacht. Und macht's gut, Leute. Bis dann. Und danke an alle fürs dabei sein. Bis dann. Macht's gut. Ciao. Oh, ich muss immer auf Streaming stoppen drücken. Da gibt's doch bestimmt irgendeinen Shortcut. Kann ich mir bestimmt einstellen. Müsste ich mal einstellen können. Na egal. Macht's gut. Wir haben Juni, nicht Juli. Ach, das kommt erst im Juli raus. Hä? Nee, das kommt schon morgen raus, ne? Juni, ja doch. Alles gut. Okay, dann wünsche ich euch eine gute Nacht. Macht's gut. Und ciao.